Hello,
I made cobbler.
everybody. You made cobbler. Look at that. Perfect timing. Welcome in, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good night. Thank you for the raid, Hell's Corp. It was definitely planned. That was intentional the whole time, correct? 100%? No, you just forgot. You just forgot.
No.
Yeah, we need to get, like...
I didn't realize what time it was.
We need an alarm
I was going to raid
set.
somebody else and then come here.
Oh, wow. That's nice of you. I appreciate it. I respect it. What is up, everyone? We got everyone popping in today. Holy shit. We got the Hell's Raid. Ryan's already here. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Mantuka. Soda Pop, Kieran, Aves, Arcane Ryan, Kayla, other Rusty in here, Mortal Pikachu, Witch Doctor. What's up, everybody? Chris Beats, too. Planned raid, totally. Absolutely.
I caught the Pikachu.
Did you just, like, polish off that cobbler in 2 bites?
No, okay.
Like,
so
okay. It was half a cobbler.
I finished off one of the pieces.
I looked at chat, like I looked away, and then I looked back, and it was just you shoveling cobbler in your fucking face hole.
I don't like eating on stream, okay? So I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible.
Fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah. Mouse pant, bottom text.
Mouse pant, bottom text.
You get to say that once in the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so we'll get through a couple announcements real quick. We've officially really started leaning into the D&D content. The world building streams and the painting streams have been taken off like crazy. The turnout on those has been way more than I could have ever expected it to be. So thank you guys for helping make that transition a lot easier and a lot less nerve-wracking on me. We're pretty well into the planning of our first town in the new campaign, which we have decided to name Mistmere. As a chat vote out of 5 names. That's the one that won. I'm quite fond of it. I still haven't named the island yet.
Not Towny McTownface.
Not Towny McTownface. They didn't do me like that. Maybe next one. Maybe next time.
Yep.
Okay, Stanny, you got advantage starting off from the bat from Kieran today. Remember that.
Can I get advantage on
Somebody
the weather
roll
check
a
so
weather
that I
check.
don't?
Let's see if we get another Masu.
Advantage does not transfer to weather checks.
I
So far, you have based on the time you've been inside, you have 12-ish hours of hurricane to deal with. But yeah, other than that, we're switching to Jade Empire on Tuesdays because we beat Rise of the Argonauts. That's really exciting. I'm really stoked to dive into that. That's going to be really fun. Beyond that, there's nothing really new going on. We're moving Wednesdays a little later in the day because I'm working till 4 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. That's going to be a rough time.
Mondays?
We are doubling up
Mondays.
That's true. Thank you for that. We are now doing D&D streams every single Monday because Ryan's work schedule finally adjusted to a point where we can run the game every single week. So that's going to be a lot of work on
Chaos.
me. Yeah. Oh, you just okay. I just heard a little thumpy noise. I don't know if.
Oh no, I said the trigger word.
Yeah, you said the word. Don't do it, dude. It's like when you say walk in front of a dog. It's just like immediately like.
Did I hear a thump on the bottom?
Yeah, that's
of
what I'm saying. There's a little. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was on top, baby.
Oh wow. Just impressive. You're what a lucky lady your wife is then. Damn. Look at you, big man.
Big man.
This is big man. This has gone places already.
Micropeen gang.
You guys have been. You came in with this energy of just horn, and I'm trying to get some shaft. So let's go.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Hells? You got anything new coming down the pipe for the peoples? Thank you for the sub, Chris. I appreciate you, buddy. Balls.
Balls.
I'm trying to do a hitless Dead Cells run, and maybe eventually work my way up to beating the world record for speedrunning it.
There you go. Okay, so that's
all I'm doing on streaming now.
That's
Hell's for president. Let's go.
Big news over there at Hell's Corp. Okay, that's good. What's up, Wilgrim?
Hellscorp.speed.run.
Hellscorp.speed.run. I like that. That's good. Let's start that promo material nice and early.
No, but it's hellscorp.square.site. Don't get it confused.
Go check out the merch. There's some really cool gaslighting merch on there that we should all.
But if you do go to the other one,
should all be supporting.
Yeah,
definitely.
It would be awesome actually if that's a real fucking thing.
You should check that right now.
I'm doing it. I'm
top
doing
priority
it
for the stream. Like I don't.
It's definitely not, but I'm doing it.
I don't want you to do anything else today other than find cool.
This site cannot be reached.
Oh shit! Time to lock it down.
You said nothing else. Bye.
Yep, get on it, boy. Oh, he's out. Okay, shit. We're done. That's it.
Go,
Bye,
Daddy,
everybody.
go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, we're off to a brilliant start. Today's gonna be as chaotic as the last one. Hi, Felicia. All right, so quick recap from last week. Oddly enough, not a lot happened, and everything happened all at once.
Yep,
so we managed to travel all of like 30 minutes of time on the road, and then a hurricane began to occur due to a god tier weather check by Chris, rolling a 96% on the D100, which it triggered a world like fucking cataclysmic hurricane level deal.
Weather check ever.
Worst weather check in history. Most pant bottom text, bro. For sure. Yeah. So no one's ever done that in 30 games. That was the first time we've had someone roll like the inclement weather part. So it seemed the 3 or 4 days of storms and rain that we had finally culminated in this large just gale force hurricane that blew in off the Osrian Sea to the southwest. Quickly dashing for cover, finding what appeared to be a fairly sturdily built house 300 or so feet away from them, thanks to the keen eyes of, I believe, Gregory? Was it Gregory or Mr. Maker? One of the two. Usually pretty consistent with that. And Mantuka actually brought up a couple good ones. You quickly dashed for this house, all of you dodging various bits of debris along the way, except for Mantuka, of course, using sheer force of will and brute strength to punch his way through any piece of debris that was foolhardy enough to approach his superior form, eventually making your way to the house of one Felonious... Puny logs, yeah, just flying through the air straight at your face. You made it to the house of one Felonious Thwit, a very old and time-weathered half-elf, and his wife, Delonia, and daughter Jezebel, who had been hunkering down from the storm in their home. However, perhaps due to the stress of the day and getting caught in the stress of the storm, the sound alerts are still active. That's weird. They shouldn't be.
No, I couldn't see them when I...
Yeah, they're not on there.
When I checked,
There's
yeah.
still probably the thing people can spend biddies on, so maybe I'll go deactivate that real quick, but... Yoink! Thank you for reminding me. Boop. Gotta make sure to do that shit. If only there is a quicker way to do it. Okay, we should be good. Boop! Now. There we go.
End by rest. Fuck you, weather.
Okay,
Old man, it's the clouds.
Yeah. Yeah, very old half-elf.
You call this a storm?
Perhaps it was the stress of the day, getting caught in a hurricane, the concern for his family, but upon seeing the hulking Minotaur punching his way through the flying debris, the impromptu presenting of a green flame blade in the middle of his house by Mr. Maker, the rapid changing of his face, or Mr. Maker's face, into the face of Felonious himself, and even a surprising teleport that he wasn't expecting. The stress of the day seemingly being too much. You did almost kill a man, and it seems the adrenaline began to wear on this old man's heart as he began entering what appeared to be some kind of heart attack-like event. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when we get in there, I have something I want to do almost immediately.
Fair,
so I just
fair.
wanna
Stanislav.
put my quarter on the machine.
Cool, you're good. Yeah, I know you're next up. You got the quarter on the arcade machine for sure. Man, those were the days. That nostalgia hits good. That was good times. Anyway, Stanislav quickly jumping into action using a lesser restoration to cleanse this condition, which, I mean, technically, heart attack is a condition. Sure.
Paralyzed, more or less?
Yeah, going into defibrillation more accurately, but seizure, tremor, take it for what you will.
I'm a paladin, not a doctor, damn it.
There you go.
Quickly.
Quickly...
I'd like to cast Stop Palpitation.
Stop palpitation, there you go. Quickly jumping into action and saving the day. The wife, Delonia, is grateful for your assistance, but a little cross with how things went about. Yeah. Essentially mad it even needed to happen in the first place. However, the daughter, Jezebel, was friendly enough, offered you all like a comfy place to sit and rest, some food if you needed it, and kind of offhandedly mentioned, possibly with the side of a little guilt trip, that most of their food was still stuck in the basement that was only accessible through the hatch outside on the back of the home. Mr. Maker feeling guilty, apparently, and as a way of a sign of reparation or something along those lines, decided to make the journey himself, getting just pummeled repeatedly in the face by bits of debris, the side of a wall, and upon emerging from the cellar, a flying chicken that flew through the air, hitting you in the face, which you managed to catch after it scratched you up a good little bit, and bring inside, attempting to non-lethally knock this chicken out. Unfortunately, failed to realize your own strength and flattened the chicken into a mostly chicken-sized pancake on the floor of the Thwit residence, leaving a
smash cocking.
Not the best cock wrangler.
Not the best. I'll get better with
An actual cooking term.
I know. Just
Well, see, but it sounds like you're talking about a penis, you see. So I think that's where Rusty is getting.
I was.
this doesn't even hide it. He's talking about dicks, dude. It's too early for that. Anyway,
Large cock.
so after everyone kind of got a long rest, okay, Jesus Christ. I don't want to do this anymore. I quit streaming. I'm done. After getting back inside, everyone kind of getting a bit of a rest. So I'm gonna say most, like, Stanislav definitely got the long rest in. Ryan, if you wanted to as well. Mantuka.
You said I did as well.
I think you did too.
Outside.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, true that you weren't on a watch. So, luckily enough, you managed to wait out a good chunk of the storm, seemingly having another half day or so to go based on the rolls that were made last session. So I'll say at this
Stanislav
point,
was out for like 10 hours because he was recovering from point exhaustion.
Yeah, just absolutely out of it.
Gone.
And I'm only now just waking up to a chicken being smashed in the living room.
As the winds are blowing, like whipping through the door that's just been closed, kind of waking you up. You hear, and then just a splattering
What the fuck is
sound.
going on?
Yeah, what a way to wake up. So we're picking up there. What are you all doing? You had your coin on the machine. What are you starting off with?
Okay, so first things first. Felonious is still out there. He said we're having chicken for dinner, right?
Yeah. No, he came. He was actually kind of excited about it because you notice this farm doesn't keep chickens.
Sure.
So you know that chicken blew in somewhere. This is someone else's chicken, and he very excitedly looks over his shoulder to Delody and says, "Honey, it looks like we're having chicken for dinner."
Hell yeah!
And that
very,
is
very
literally
exciting.
where we left off. Yeah.
I will then pick up my little measurement tool out of my little bag, my little, and I want to start measuring his dimensions.
You're measuring Felonious?
I'm measuring Felonious.
Okay.
Yes, I
At
am.
this point,
This
you
shouldn't- this shouldn't freak
no,
you
you're
out.
good. You're good. You whip out this,
Okay.
like, as you're kind of approaching, almost like a little creepy, like just with purpose. He kind of is taken aback, and you whip out, like, and you flap out, like, essentially what is a like a seamstress tape measure, like nicely rolled up and coiled, and and it kind of just rolls out, and you begin taking his measurement. He's a little taken aback at first, but he's like,
Sure.
he kind of just allows it at this point. It's like the least intrusive and scary thing you've done since you got here, so
I'm
he's
like-
kind of okay with it.
As I'm groggily waking up and seeing this, I'm just gonna say to Felonious, don't worry, usually good things happen when he does things like this.
Oh, all right, if you say so. No more surprises, though, young man.
What,
You still look
what was
like...
that?
Hold up, do you still look like Gregory?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because you never changed back. You still look like
Yeah,
Gregory.
I look like Gregory.
And then, as he says young man, he looks over and sees young Gregory just kind of stirring from slumber in the corner. And he just, like, looks at you and arches a single eyebrow.
I wink. The glasses still on. Where are my
Thank you.
glasses?
Yeah. Oh, you need the glasses. Thank you for that. And he puts his arms out as you measure, and you get all the measurements. He's a little gaunt.
Sure.
He's in shape. Like, you tell he works the fields. He's got like a fair amount of wiry muscle buildup, but he's definitely like he's reaching the end of his years. You figure he's getting a little worse for wear.
I was figuring it seemed,
Yeah.
He had a heart attack.
Yep.
Uh,
I mean,
Looking
he
around the
could just
shack.
have a very high cholesterol diet. Let's be fair.
Looking around the shack, do I see any, like, or have I seen at any point any like loose lumber, maybe some like light woodworking
Roll me,
tools?
yeah, roll me a perception check, just for just an easy one.
Virtual tabletop not found. What?
Did you open roll 20?
Yeah, I got them both open.
Does
Go
not.
to features
Did
and
you
traits.
join
Oh,
the
I
wrong
just wanted
campaign?
Parses it.
Okay,
No,
there you
I
go.
just
yeah.
forgot to hit that. My bad.
I was like, your little name. There he is.
Yeah, there I am.
There you go, buddy.
Hashtag not my player.
Sorry.
That's a 9. That is a 9.
Flashing of genius, that bad boy.
You did. How many did you use during the hurricane event?
None.
Okay, cool. So you have 5 for today. I'm going to keep on track of that. You've done good so far. I'm impressed. So 14 total then. Yeah, you find a bit. It looks like throughout the night, some more pieces have kind of been blown into the house that are kind of coming
Sure.
off the walls. You could probably make do. There's a bit of a rundown, broken chair in the corner that
Perfect.
Gregory's Mending Mouse hasn't quite got to yet.
I would like to begin putting together a coffin.
Okay.
A nice one.
A nice coffin? Okay.
A nice one.
That's dark.
I'm so into this.
I am
So into
too.
this.
I am too. So you're just from the pieces of wood of Felonious's house.
I want to find the best pieces I can and make him a little coffin.
You're gonna lay him to rest where he's lays to rest.
I didn't
most
say I'm
night.
gonna lay him
Okay.
to rest.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just making him a coffin.
Yeah, you do. You
He's
find
got
enough.
that many years left.
Looking outside too, you do find kind of blown up against the side of the house some larger pieces of wood that have blown off of fences and other people's homes.
Sure.
With a 14, I'll say you find enough to start making a coffin.
Perfect.
Did
I find any varnish, perhaps? Would I have it a little bit?
We're looking
maybe?
for varnish. Do you have woodworker's tools?
No.
I don't feel like varnish is readily available.
That's fair.
Necessarily. I think it could be.
Investigation.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check if you want to look for varnish.
I do.
You do. You do find. It does appear that Felonious is a bit of a woodworker himself. And kind of rummaging through the house, you look into the back room and find a little kind of like woodworking station where he's done some light carving. It looks like he mostly uses it to fix up the handles of his like farm tools
Sure.
when he needs a replacement and stuff like that. But it does look he has kind of a nice varnish, like a nice lacquer to seal up the wood when he finishes making his tools. It's kind of like a nice kind of amberish brown. It's got like a really nice kind of orange tint to it. They need another weather check, please.
Dibs the fuck
Oh,
out.
sweet Jesus, please, son.
I mean, this time a viewer did it, so it's not going to get worse. That's a 62.
Yep.
Someone rolled a d20. Okay, so the rain
Nothing
does
involving
not.
rain.
Yeah, it doesn't cease basically. Like, it kind of goes in 35%. So it's like 35 and below, it's sunny. Up to fucking 70. It's rainy, and above 70 it gets increasingly nasty. The rain continues. It does not cease. You gather this hurricane does still have quite a bit of time left in it.
Oh, jeez.
Not the kind of thing that ends in a few hours, let's just say.
Sure.
So it is a pretty pretty rough day weather-wise. I'm gonna. How do I? Are you proficient in woodworking tools? I imagine you
In
are.
woodworking tools?
Yeah.
I'm an alchemist, smiths, thieves, and tinkers.
Okay, so that's a no. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say then just roll me a straight dexterity roll to see how well you can build and assemble a coffin using the materials. God damn it! You don't have to roll so high every time.
I can flash a genius if you really want me to.
It's up to you if you want to expend it. You do manage
I'm
to make
joking.
a fairly well made coffin, and as a few hours go by while you're killing out this storm, you manage to I'm gonna say another like 3 hours or so by the end of this project.
Fantastic.
And Felonious kind of looks up as you're putting the last brush of varnish on this coffin, and he's like looks and then kind of like thinks back to the measurements and just.
I just smile at him. I give him a little smile, another little wink behind the glasses.
He doesn't even say. He has nothing to say at this point. He was expecting maybe like a new suit or a new
Sure.
shirt or something, but no, you made
course
him
he
a
was.
coffin. Rye, you have advantage on your next roll as well. You and Stanislav
Pink
both have
soda
it now.
pop.
Maybe
Coffin-
Gregory needs advantage.
Yeah, so you
Yeah, I
got
do.
Coffins
You know-
are expensive. I'm just saving you the trouble. You clearly have some heart issues.
I didn't until yesterday.
You've helped us out tremendously,
Okay.
preparing for your future.
This is another one of those cultural compliments that we don't fully understand.
I mean, if you want to say it that way, I think it's just a regular compliment, though, right?
Traditionally, we don't give coffins. You know what? Don't never look gift horses in the mouth. Thank you.
I didn't include the saw blades that we usually.
It's a coffin, not a horse.
I thought those would be scary, so I just.
He just looks at Mantuka. Very observant of you, sir.
Would you say Mantuka?
She said it's not a coffin. Yeah, it's a coffin, not a horse.
He was looking in a gift horse's mouth, and I said, it's not a mouth, it's a coffin. He made you a coffin actual. Made of wood, no horse.
I can see it's an expression amongst farmers. It's fine, and he gives you like a little tap on the pack. Just a little.
My brother, he's a follower of Kalimvor. Yeah, he would see this as a pretty big compliment. It's a very nice gesture for somebody. As dark as it might be.
It's thank you.
I think it's pretty nice.
It
is not pretty nice?
The varnish work on it is top tier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's your varnish back, by the way.
We'll keep it. We'll put baby Gregory when he gets irrational and dies in it if you don't want it.
He grabs the varnish. He's like, I thought it looked familiar. And he just walks it back to his office and puts it on the desk. And like goes in and closes the door. You see him pull out a little key and just lock it. Put the key back in his pockets.
He just locks up his varnish. That's it.
No, he locked up the whole. He locked up the entire woodworking station at this point. That entire back room is now sealed off. Oh God. Okay, so what is everyone doing to kill? We know how Mr. Maker is killing the storm. We'll say like at that point the storm's gonna start to dissipate and make way, make safety for travel.
Well, we have to cook this chicken.
Okay,
yeah, hell yeah!
It's a full RP stream. We're playing house. This is great.
Stanislav,
who's cooking?
What is a standard house activity? Building a coffin, cooking a chicken.
Oh, okay. So who's doing what to? We're making dinner. If we're doing this, we're doing this. Who's doing what to contribute to the dinner making process?
Well, I'll go ahead and call KFC, and then you guys can do the rest.
DoorDash.
Oh God.
Stanislav is just gonna go into the kitchen with the half squished chicken.
It's called DoorDash action. Just like to. Come on. It's funny.
It's funny.
That was good.
It just wasn't funny enough to elicit a laugh.
You guys suck. Okay, you can all fucking fuck yourselves.
I'm laughing. It's funny.
Okay, Stanislav, what are you doing? How are you making this chicken?
First I'm gonna pluck it.
You're gonna pluck the
All the
chicken.
fat that's
Yeah,
gotta come
it's
off.
a little
Pluck it?
difficult. Some of them are like covered in blood and viscera, having this chicken having been squished. But yeah, it takes you.
Not worried.
I'm not even gonna have you roll for it. It's like at this point you're locked in this. You're stuck in this house until the hurricane stops. So you go ahead and pluck that chicken. Congratulations. Waste your dexterity advantage on fucking chicken plucking. That would be mean.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of look at the chicken and think about how we used to do it on the road and
over a fire. Cool.
Yep. I think about some other ways that people cook chickens. Mr. Thwit, do you have a really large pot of some kind by chance and the supply of water?
And kind of
In any old bay?
Raises a shaking figure. You can there's a pot by the fire and water's outside in the well.
I can go get some water.
You can make water?
Oh no, I can go get some water. It'll be fine.
Oh please go get some water.
There's a monsoon outside.
Maybe I should go outside.
You just hear outside, all you hear is little bits of wind is just blowing through. Okay, great.
Sure.
I can do this.
Yes. All right, buddy. Give you the water jug.
Okay, so having been the one who rolled the good perception check, you do know the well is only about 35-40 feet from the house, kind of in the backyard area.
I'm pretty confident I can do this.
Okay, so
I'm gonna come to the door with you so that you can start with an extra 10 feet of Zippity boppity.
You begin opening the door, and as you do, it's just the breeze begins kicking in. All the candles flicker and begin to go out. The fire that's been burning in the corner since you guys got here and started preparing the meal is just kind of like having trouble keeping up, and then kind of flares up every now and again when the
I'll
coals
use
catch a good gust.
thaumaturgy to make sure it doesn't go out.
Okay, no problem. Easily done. Gregory, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of brace myself down and try and crawl.
We're gonna okay, so we're moving.
I'm gonna crawl.
We're moving at half speed, crawling.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, since you're usually dexterity check. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say you can roll your dexterity checks at it. You already have advantage. Huh? What's up?
Can I just pick him up and throw him?
You see, as Stanislav opens the door, you see Gregory just get on his like belly and begin like soldier crawling, and you're gonna walk over. You're gonna walk over and try to throw him. Gregory, how do you react as you see Mantuka just approaching you and like reaching to grab you by the back of the shirt?
I immediately go into the fetal position.
I see in my brain just you get up, you like adjust your belt, and, like gruntly, all mad about it. Just...
I would see him walking. I would feel him walking first. I'd look up and see, and I just instinctively curl like pill bug. Just
okay.
With the pot
like
still in your arms?
armadillo.
right. I'm like holding it like a baby.
Okay. Roll me a.
Gregadillo.
Oh god, I'm gonna say athletics check to yeet Gregory. That seems the way to go for this.
Does it matter if it's consensual yeet or non-consensual yeet? Is there any bonus to that?
No. You're just
Okay.
athletics yeeting a human. A small human,
I think
mind
about
you.
stopping this and realize that it's far too entertaining to intervene.
Yeah, it's already it's like
Athletics.
it's in progress. You don't want to get
Let's
into
Look up
do
for my
Mantuka's way.
coffin.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just working up as you drive, and you kind of like look up over the
Yeah.
glasses. You see Mr. Maker's eyes just kind of peeking out with advantage. So 24. Yeah, no problem.
Into the well.
You pick up Gregory and
You
just
know him too well.
from the back as he's like pill bugged.
Get it?
You do like the kind of side swing 1, 2, like you're like when you and then yeet him into the sky. Gregory, make me a
Oh, I should
dexterity
have tied a
save.
rope to him.
Yeah, makes
Oh,
me
well.
a
Go for next
dexterity saving throw, please, Gregory. As you land, you're not gonna get. You're moving too fast to be hit by debris. Mantuka flew through you.
Does he technically get the +4 from my aura of protection because he started this with?
Sure,
10
fuck
feet
it.
of
Why
me?
not? Let's just we're sending it today.
Thank you, Soda Pop, for the
Just a whole
advantage
bunch
on
of
this.
boys.
Let's go.
It's good you got a
24.
advantage on that. I mean, we're just sending it today. It's chaos. Yeah. So as you are thrown through the air in your pillbug-sized form, you hit the ground and you just roll out and land on your 2 feet. And this, I'm gonna say it was about 35 feet to get there. He threw you about 20. You got about 15 feet of movement to go.
I'm just gonna lean into the momentum and just run.
Okay. Roll me another dexterity save as you try to dodge some of the debris flying through the air.
Okay.
You need a 15, so that's fun. As you're running.
Wait wait a second.
Okay.
Wait a fucking second.
Oh my god.
Oh, boom. He'd been flashed. He fine.
It's within 30 feet, isn't it? God damn it. That's
Just be a
Yes,
dick, and
it
you get a
is.
+5 to your roll.
Yep. Yeah, dick bonus. That's the thing.
Mm.
So you get an 18. Okay. You do, as you're
That's
running,
my
you
big
see
dick energy.
you
That's what
see
the flash of genius
a
is.
plank blowing off one of the nearby fences, kind of just like tumbling towards you, bouncing off the ground as it goes. And it looks like it's about to hit you. You try to readjust, and then you just feel Mr. Maker's judging stare looking out from his coffin, staring at you. And you feel like
sitting in the coffin.
wanting to avoid the shame of the judgment. You manage to just jerk yourself out of the way at the last minute. Your shoulder kind of pops to the side, and the wood just right past you. Kinda like
I turned
skimming
around
past the
and
face.
literally just see myself sitting in a coffin.
Yes, you do. Just with these glasses on,
Yeah.
like peering at you.
Gregory, you see yourself staring back at you. The last thing you want to do is disappoint the party and yourself. Oh, I keep
I
forgetting that.
immediately see that, and I just I'm booking it towards the goddamn well. I
Yeah.
get to the well. Is it one of them like bucket goes down kind, or is the water
Yeah.
right there?
No, it's definitely a bucket goes down, but the bucket is already in the bottom, seemingly having just been like blown around and just fallen at a certain point when the mechanism wasn't holding up anymore.
Check
Okay.
the pot. It might already have the water in it.
It does now. It's out in the rain. Just begin
Right,
like
like ears.
wheeling in this bucket from the bottom of the well as you do. It's kind of heavy. You're fighting against the elements, the breeze, the wind is pummeling you in the face. But you do manage to get it up and just kind of like dump it into the bucket. And now you have essentially a medium-sized pot full of water. It's a little heavy, so you're not going to be quite as dexterous moving back with it. So your dex check will be at a disadvantage to get back to the house.
Well, actually, what I'm gonna do is take just 5 steps forward, and I look up, seeing those eyes coming out of the coffin, and I'm just gonna close my eyes and say, "This needs to stop." And I'm gonna cast Misty Step, so just a bunch of eyeballs come out of the box and swirl around me, and then boop, 30 feet.
They all
over.
begin popping and mist begins just appearing around you, and then you
Nice.
appear in the entrance to the house with the water kind of shaking, and you like adjust the pot to not spill any.
I'll quickly grab it from him as he's coming inside.
Yeah, you kind of like pull him in at the same time.
Yeah,
and you make it safely back indoors. Having not
Close the
been-
door, put the latch down.
Yeah, as you do, the wind begins just whistling through the slit in the door as it gets small, and you just put your shoulder into it and get the latch down. No problem. You throw the pot on the fire to boil.
Good job, buddy. Hey, do you have any vegetables or anything like that? Maybe some potatoes?
Yeah, Mr. Maker brought up like a pretty good stash of stuff. He brought up a pretty decent
sweet.
store. He brought up enough food for you guys to eat for like 2-3 days if you need to. It
Nice.
sounds like the hurricane's beginning to wane a little bit, so you probably won't be here much longer. But
Doesn't
Long
matter.
enough to
this
make
is
a
our
meal.
new house.
yeah, you live here now. Oh
This
no!
is where we live.
Oh no!
We're becoming a sitcom.
Wait, did you?
Do
haven't
we
s-
Are
say-
you
To
saying
be fair,
you
Mr.
colonized
Maker hasn't
Felonious's
actually
house,
seen-
dude? No.
Mr. Maker hasn't seen our actual house yet.
You can't just discover someone's house.
We have a house?
You actually do have a house.
I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
hey,
We
do
actually
now.
haven't
We have
told
two
you,
now.
so.
Yeah. Okay.
Summer
This
home.
is our
right.
summer house.
Yep. So I'm gonna, I'll just take the
This is our
chicken.
monsoon house.
Hurricane season sucks balls.
So I'm gonna take the pot over to the fire because that seems to be the only source of heat.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start the water boiling. I'm just more or less gonna put the whole fucking chicken in there because I don't really know how else
Just
to do
plain
it.
ass boiled chicken, bland as
Fuck
fuck.
yeah.
I love,
No.
I love it.
No. Once the water's boiled, I'm also gonna have some sliced up taters and maybe some onions if they're there.
You're making a
and any
chicken
kind
stew
of spicage. Yeah, more or less. Just gonna put it all
without
in
having
water.
made like stock or broth. You're just making water, chicken, and vegetables.
And spices.
called
Yep.
boil.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm good with it. Yeah. So that takes a
I
little
don't know
bit.
how to make broth.
I must go ahead and roll me a
Or
cooking
soup
tool,
base.
cooking tools check, which you don't have proficiency in. I'm guessing.
You
So-
just cook water and
Uh,
I'll say survival
sure-
if you want to, or just a straight like intelligence check to see how long you need to cook this for.
we will
Fuck
certainly
that
do survival.
performance, bitch.
You're at advantage too.
Can I do performance?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Cooking's an art form, I
Oh,
would say.
Fuck no, that's your fucking.
It's +7.
Oh,
So
boy!
Not only does Stanislav begin cooking this chicken, but he begins like making a little bit of a show of it. Like he's
Be my
Tossing
guest.
in,
Be my
yeah.
guest.
he's whistling a jolly little tune to himself. He like every time he walks past the pot, he'll throw a little more spices into it, and you begin smelling what ultimately sounds like a
Something.
somewhat strangely prepared but pleasing smelling soup
You
Thing,
did
broth.
find the old day.
And after I'd say about maybe, I don't know how long it takes to boil a chicken. I have no idea. So we're gonna say after an hour or so. Probably, yeah. So I'm just gonna go with that. It takes you a while to get everything together. You pull out what appears to be a fairly nice chicken that has been boiled in vegetables and spices. It's got a little bit of like kind of a reddish orange tinge to it from the spice that has seeped into the meat. And it smells real good. So you got yourself a little bit of a chicken stew, and Felonious kind of comes over. He kind of leans in a little closer. You gather his sense of smell's not as good as it used to be. Not how I would have done it, but it smells delicious.
it really
Look-
does.
Little way of cooking back from from where I grew up.
Put it in boiling water. It checks out. Smells great. And he just begins handing out these like little wooden bowls with shaky hands and little wooden spoons. Sporks. He has sporks. Sporks are canon.
I'm just gonna like, before I remove everything from the boiling water, I'm gonna cast Purify Food and Drink on it, just to be sure.
Just in case, yeah.
Yep.
Just in case you undercook that chicken. I don't know if purifying takes away raw chicken salmonella, but we're gonna allow it. You go ahead.
Is purified rendered free of poison and disease? Salmonella is a disease.
Yeah, okay, that checks out.
Yep.
Also,
and I'm gonna just like reach in and take them out of the pot.
Oh, just barehanding it. Okay.
More or less.
Yeah. So y'all watch as Stanislav essentially just reaches his hands into boiling water and begins pulling the ingredients out and putting them on a platter, one by one.
I do it quickly, but he's more or less fine.
Yeah. So. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please. Just a little one. Low DC.
Sure. Yep.
Low DC. You're putting your hands in boiling water. Natural. Okay. It's like almost so fast that you don't see him pull. Like there's just a chicken out of the water at a certain point. You're not even going to take half damage on anything. You manage to get your hands in and out of there with your heat resist. You're fine. And the lot of you all begin to settle into what is a fairly comfortable, cozy dinner while the storm rages around you. Spend some time talking with Felonious, his wife, and his daughter.
I'm eating in the coffin.
Young Gregory.
Slide it over with you in it to where everyone's eating.
Yeah.
Just right up to the edge of the table.
I'm still working, but just like pick up the spork every so often.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, wooden spork sounds like the worst idea ever.
Wooden spork sounds like a good band name. I'll put that out there. Just
Yeah,
saying.
it does.
Just saying.
But as a product,
We are wooden sport. We're here to make sound stuff.
Good reference. Solid reference. Yeah, no, it's a pleasing meal. You kind of learn that Delonius is, or Felonious, not Delonius. Delonia is his wife. I mixed that up. Has owned the farm for some time since it passed to him from his father, and so on and so forth. You get kind of like that old man spiel. He kind of, at one point, you can tell he's just reminiscing about his own youth, not really caring if anyone is listening so much, as he's just going through pleasant memories. You see his wife, who has probably heard these stories 7 dozen times by now in the length of their long marriage. Them both being half elves, they're a little longer lived than humans too. Yeah, she's just kind of sitting there eating her food quietly.
well,
Stanislav is listening quite intently. Because these are all from places and lands that Stanislav's never even been or probably even heard of before.
What was
I wanna
that?
hear the stories too.
God damn it,
Greg's listening because it reminds him he's of sitting around at home. He hasn't had moments like this for a while.
No, there's this one time when I was a young man. See, the farm was being attacked by wolves. That's actually why we don't keep chickens anymore. They're too delectable. And the wolves were coming into our fields in droves. It became quite hazardous. I lost a young cousin at a very young age. It was quite traumatic, really.
What was
The
his
wolves-
name?
It was little Timmy. Wolves just
Little
snatched him up and dragged him into the forest. There's rumors
Wouldn't
he's...
have happened to have been a.
Yeah, there's rumors now that he's been living there for some time with a strange individual that we met a number of years ago. Or have been talking about it a number of years ago. So I went out and I bought a sword, and with that sword I slew the wolves. It turns out they were just coyotes. But still, it was a formidable feat for a 12-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just scary too.
The township gave me a special honoring, and they gave me this badge.
And he pulls out literally the identical badge to what you guys have been given. And you start to maybe feel like it's not so much you were given a badge representing a position of honor. It was more like, here's a trinket.
medal.
Yeah, it's like a trinket to show that you helped, that they apparently give to children. But like, he still did a service. So it's like, you gather it has a little bit of pull. Maybe not as much as you were led to believe in terms of everything.
No, Stanislav is fully choosing to believe that this child committed an insanely heroic act and that it was way more badass than it was.
I don't think I have one of these medals or know what they are. So.
Nope.
Yeah, no, you got one.
Did I? From what?
He wasn't there, remember? I had to, there's an entire clip of me role-playing Mr. Maker myself. And that's when you guys were all given them.
Say I was,
Yeah.
I was sick.
Yeah, so
You
you were
personally
sick for
weren't,
that. Yeah. So you were given essentially what is like, it's like a little medal depicting it's like you did a service for the kingdom, and they honor that by giving you this little thing. It can maybe get you into like, I'm not gonna say special events with the upper class, but like it'll let you into maybe the higher end districts in town, the nicer shopping malls. There you go, it looks exactly like that. It's kind of a it's not quite a it's like just below participation award.
I want to stand up out of the coffin.
Okay.
Just temporarily.
Okay.
Pull it out and like compare it next to him. Like get a little too close and compare it.
Yeah. You kind of leaning in like right over his
bubble.
shoulder. Yeah, this young Gregory with
Like-
glasses. Kind of looking at it, and you can see by his like it is old. Like it depicts like if he was 12 when he got this, he's probably had it at his, like he looks like based on half elf, which maybe gets an extra 20 years over humans in terms of lifespan or so, maybe a little more. He's probably pushing like 100 so years old by now, and like it's kind of polished in a weird way. Like you ever see like an antique that's been touched by someone a lot, and it has like a kind of a shine to it because you can tell he's like held it, and like you gather Felonious has probably spent a lot of time just holding this and like just kind of toying with it and like thinking back to what is probably the one like truly heroic deed he ever did in his life. He talks about chasing off other critters and stuff throughout his years, but like that's the one that he's most proud of.
Sure. It's like when a spouse is cheating and they take off their ring over and over, and then you can tell on the inside because it's
actually that checks out. Essentially it's just had a lot of human contact. You can tell he's quite proud of it even as he's looking at it. So yeah, it's nearly identical in every way. You can see they've kind of refined the designs a little. It's gone through a couple rebrands over the years, but overall it looks almost identical.
I sit back on the cushion.
In the coffin.
Sweet dude,
In the
nice
coffin.
pin.
Yeah.
Fair. And I'm gonna say that's like pretty much how the rest of the day is spent. He goes on a few other stories, but none of them are nearly as exciting. Mentions rumors about this little Timmy character, who supposedly has lived in the forest for ages now.
Level 20.
We don't know. You never know. Living
But
with
little Timmy sure was wrong, and Timmy fucking died.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're gonna start winding down at this point as you guys spend like a few more hours this afternoon playing games and kind of just passing the time, telling stories of your own. If there's anything you'd like to talk about or tell stories to Felonious, now is the chance. But beyond that, it's mostly just kind of sitting and waiting for the storm to pass at a certain point.
Felonious, can we get in your will?
Oh, why would you be in my will?
No, I'm just saying, can we?
For what? Why?
I don't know. I feel like we have something special that we've shared together.
You gave me a heart attack.
And a coffin?
Because you're probably going to give me another heart attack.
I don't think so.
Roll me a persuasion check.
What if he
Roll-
does? Your
roll-
wife doesn't have to make a coffin.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I
With
have
advantage
for that?
because Mantuka's helping you in his own Mantuka way.
I'm helping.
Oh my god.
21? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If I die, I will put in my will that you can have all my chickens.
You don't have any chickens.
That's my point exactly, you fool.
I'm taking this coffin. I install wheels on the coffin and Flintstone it around.
Just leave the fucking coffin,
Okay.
Mr. Maker.
Not all checks will succeed. I'm just saying, like.
No, that was a joke.
For sure.
Stanislav wants to kind of talk a little bit about his past too, not just more so going off the stories. He'll like talk about how he fought this crazy goblin, weird thing, like half undead goblin king and his cohorts on this weird island, his previous buddies.
Okay.
He escaped
Roll
with
me.
that.
Yeah, roll me a persuasion check. Or not persuasion, performance, please.
Okay.
Greg was listening during Felonious, but he is not like breathing during Stan's stories. He's just like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. You tell with a 16, it's a compelling story. It has rise, it has fall, it has a beautiful climax. Wonderful. And you kind of just sit there reminiscing. Do you say the name of the island? Like, do you say who the island belonged to at any point during this conversation?
Let's roll to see if Stanislav remembers.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. Intelligence or wisdom? I don't really care either way. Say wisdom is probably tied to memory. Jesus Christ. You do. Yeah, you do. You found a number of, like, articles, journals, notes, everything, knowing that this did, in fact, belong to...
Right, it was called the Lost Island of Ropesh the Cruel. Just casually say out loud.
Yeah, just super chill. And he's...
So long.
Did you say Ropesh?
Yeah. Why? Is that a bad name? I mean, I figured he's a pretty bad guy, but this place seemed pretty ancient.
Yeah, there's not a member of our generation who does not know that name. Even the generations before. Surprised you don't.
Why? What? No, why?
He's arguably the most powerful necromancer who ever lived. He waged war on the entire continent.
Mouse pent.
Well, that's pretty heavy.
Thank you.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, no, we found this.
It was
a crazy place. We ended up, killing a bunch of undead things and escaping.
He was known to experiment on those who served him.
Yeah, we found out a little bit about that. It was crazy.
My grandfather went to war against his forces, if you can call it that. Mostly it was the bodies of our friends, family brought back from the dead. And you say you found his island?
Not really on purpose. And Stanislav would have, like, gone over how he was a slave and how his ship crashed twice and how he ended up there because of it, so...
I don't...
whenever we tried to find our way off it, we just wound up right back on it. It was crazy.
Does anyone know that you've been there? Beyond the people in this room?
Aside from my brother and the other people who were there with me, no.
You're sure? You must understand they have searched for that place for millennia.
Not millennia. Millennia is the wrong word.
Centuries.
My bad.
Really?
Hundreds of years they have searched, and they've never found it, not once. And you found your way there by accident.
Yep.
You understand this puts you in grave danger, yes?
But we broke the curse of the island. We managed to get off of it.
There are secrets there that, well, many people would like to get their hands on. Many people.
Can I insight check him right now?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I want to know what's going on in his head.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
No, not very good.
An 8. Yep. Mogus like stuff. From what you can pick up with that, he sounds terrified. It's an 8, so it's not that good. But the immediate question of does anyone know you've been there, kind of strikes you as in he's worried for the safety of his own people now, having now been connected to you and been made aware of the island's existence and heard the story himself. So he seems a little terrified by that.
Well, if it helps, not really anybody, because I'm not from here. I don't think anybody even knows where I'm from, at least of importance.
You must keep it secret, tell no one. Especially strangers, even old men.
Stanislav looks a little bit embarrassed for a sec.
It was a good story, though. Very good story.
Well, you should have seen the fight that I had with that goblin undead king. Oh, it was epic.
You need to understand if the right people knew you'd been there, that is information they will try very hard to pry from you.
Shit, did you take anything from there?
Did you?
Where did I get this longsword of the deceiver?
Yep.
Uh,
Might have grabbed a cursed magical item. Might have opened a portal.
nope. Didn't
Might
take anything.
Roll me a deception check, please.
Gladly.
Versus insight?
Yeah, versus insight. Go ahead and roll me an
The
insight
book
check.
from there was the book from the roving castle. Jeez, all the 20s tonight.
What the fuck? Mr. Maker, like, you immediately, like, you get the sense that Stanislav is bullshitting you right now. And Stanislav is a pretty good liar. Like, he's a very charismatic individual, and you see through that pretty
I like
damn
just
quick.
start glaring a little bit, like not believing over the glasses.
I'll take a
But I don't
mental
pry
note of
further.
that.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely, you get the sense that he's calling you on your bluff, but not out loud. I think there's just
Yeah,
a
not
moment.
in front of everybody.
Yeah, there's a moment of knowledge there.
Now, this isn't from there, but I do have this, like, cut in half poem from this guy who, I don't know if it's related or not, but it was in a language that me and none of my compatriots here can understand. I'm going to pull out the book that's been sliced in half.
And all the pieces of it. from-
Just the part that's still attached to the bindings.
Okay.
The other part's just kind of all crumpled up in the side, ready to be restored at any
Yeah,
point.
so you pull out
Um,
this book and put half,
yep.
essentially half of it. It's kind of like cleaved at an angle too. It wasn't a perfect down the middle cut. So it's like
But
the
you-
top triangle of a book.
You
Yep.
said you had both halves.
He does have
And
the,
the
other
other
half
side's
as
like-
well. Yep.
Would you
It's
be
just-
able to mend that?
I don't know. Would you?
I can call Mr.
hope so.
Mending Mouse.
It's gonna
Sure,
be.
I'll take
Um,
out
there-
the rest of the book. And
Yeah, he just essentially takes the other half of a book, which is not attached by a binding anymore, so it's just loose pages, and like
Sure.
the covers are kind of haphazard. But based on the fact there's no other pages in your bag right now, you gather you have all the contents of the book. 1 second, I need to open a thing. So for okay, the difficulty with mending this is going to be that where's the thingy?
My little mending mouse comes out, but this time instead of holding scissors, he's just got a little bottle of glue.
Oh, he's got like a little
Hello,
stick.
Mending Mouse.
He squeaks at you a little excitedly. He kind of just looks down at the book and looks up at you a little confused and sees how many different pages there are, all haphazard. So there's gonna be some checks involved.
I know. I'll help you, buddy. Let's just try and do this.
Yeah. So what we're gonna need to
Uh-oh.
do, I'm gonna say roll me an intelligence check to try to just match up which pages are gonna go with.
I'm
going
going
to
to cast Enhance Ability on him.
Yeah, because like they're all been in the bag
For-
for a while. They're mixed up, so
Can
you're
I-
literally
Plus his
having.
cunning.
Go ahead.
Can I help him as well? Like just also try to sort through with him?
He got advantage. If you want to make your own check, go ahead as well. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll yourself. Just one, though. Gregory, you got
On
advantage with a 19. Yeah, intelligence, please.
Thank you, Stan.
11. Cool.
16.
16. Flash of genius. All right, cool. So between the 19 and the 16 there, the two of you do manage to, essentially on the floor of this hut, making sure to avoid the chicken blood, which is kind of dried from the night or before the cooking extravaganza. You begin just putting pieces of this book on the floor and trying to slide pieces together to match it with the right page, mending one at a time as you go. The mouse kind of like excitedly with the little brush of glue just running over the seam and then back again, looking at.
We've made a little Gregory assembly line. Two
Yeah.
Gregorys and a mouse. We're just, like,
Yeah,
passing it down.
two Gregorys are assembling the book, and then the mouse just goes like does like a little run across the page, flips it, and does it again on the other side. Yeah, with those checks, it takes a while. Like this is it's several. I'm gonna say at least 30-40 minutes of just mending, let alone like the time it takes you to get all the pages assembled right. It takes quite a while. So as you're kind of finishing up the book, you do hear the storm outside. While it is still raining and a little windy, it is definitely, you no longer hear the sound of debris hitting the house and like creaking wood as the house is being blown in the wind and everything. And after
Goddamn Debris.
yeah, damn Debris. After about 2 hours of putting this book together piece by piece, you do have a completed journal with none of the pages mixed up, which is impressive in and of itself.
I think we did it.
I go ahead and I want to like thumb through it. What language is in there? You said a language you could read?
I couldn't.
He couldn't. I think it was Abyssal, wasn't it?
It's Abyssal?
Yeah, this was like... There you go. Yeah. I do believe it was Abyssal. It was literally like 15 sessions ago or more that we found this goddamn thing. So I'm gonna go with Abyssal.
Infernal.
No, it's not Infernal. Definitely Abyssal.
Because I have both of those.
Then you're good.
So I'm gonna start.
Maybe it's in Minotaur.
Yeah. Stanislav briefly has a flashback to remembering the curse that was placed upon him when he first read from this book.
And as he does that, he casts Detect Magic.
Okay. There is no longer any aura of magic on this book. You gather it was kind of a one-time deal in case anyone ever stole this book. That curse would go off, and they would not be able to tell anyone about it. At least until they got that dealt with by a high-level priest of some sort. It's called the Curse of the Twisted Tongues. I was quite proud of that one. This was a homebrew I did myself.
God, I love that.
Imagine, remember you met Stanislav and he couldn't speak?
Yep.
For the first 2 sets. That's what it was. Like, he literally was a pally who couldn't cast any charisma spells because he couldn't fucking talk.
Damn.
It was beautiful.
I just love the fact that it came from it was like a do not read diary, my diary only kind of thing.
That's literally what it is. And as you open it up.
But Stanislav still hasn't told any of you that that's why he got cursed.
That's true.
I would have just assumed you like fought a witch or something. You know,
fair.
that's just what happened.
That's more of an internal thing. So, looking at it, you open it to the first page, and there's just a name inscrawled in the top right of the corner. It says in Abyssal, Master Reun is the name of the person who wrote it. You gather. It is quite long.
Mr. Maker can understand this.
Yeah,
looks like it. As he opens it, he just begins reading, kind of traces his finger over the name. It's up to you if you say it out loud or not, but you definitely understand what's been...
I'm just reading it for now.
Been read in here.
I'm not going to, read it out loud yet.
Okay. This is quite extensive. This is going to be a little bit of a lore dump. Prepare yourself. 36th of Wintros, 3286. Silence. No contact for a year. My experiments continue as planned, but we have made little progress in further discovering the secrets of the Master's research. To corrupt an individual with necromancy without completely spoiling the host is a difficult feat, and in nearly all cases the test subject has succumbed to the necrotic energies with nothing to show for it but another undead thrall. Perhaps they ignore me because they have lost faith in my talents. But I will solve this riddle. If only we had access to the Master's island. Direct study of his test subjects may be the exact thing we need to complete our research. I've managed to recruit... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, on the island, as soon as the island comes out, without, not intentionally, just kind of read that part out loud. Okay. And then keep
you hear him basically read a single sentence about the Master's Island. I have managed to recruit the Coven of the Withered Raven into the service of our Master. Their secrets will prove most useful, even though they are reluctant to share them with me. Magic has already proven beneficial to my research, though even they lack the power to help me achieve my ends as of yet. Time will tell if this allegiance will continue to bear fruit. Moves on, jumping ahead by what appears to be a number of years. 58th of Newgrown, 3290. Finally, a breakthrough. We have successfully managed to enhance a living individual. Unfortunately, the subject's form was not enough to withstand the ensuing tests, and he too fell. It matters not, for I believe this to be a breakthrough. The first major step forward in years, and it is to be celebrated. It's almost as if they knew, as if they were watching, for no sooner had I finished that last passage, the hand of the Master reached out to me once more. They are growing impatient. Nearly 5 years of research with no real advancements until this week. It would seem they intend to put their plans into motion, and those plans rely heavily on my work. I must hurry. 67th of Wintros, 3291. It seemed that the Master could delay his plans no further. It is a shame my work won't be taken to the field of battle, but it is not yet time. I've continued along my path, and the test subjects seem to be lasting longer with each new effort, though none have managed to endure beyond a week. In that time, they are proving to be formidable opponents. far beyond the meager strength of an average soldier. I am close. I can feel it. 18th of Solaire, 3291. Something very strange has occurred. Hand of the Master has informed me that the once lost connection to the Master's lost isle has once again become active. It was believed impossible, but somehow something has managed to make its way from that island. It would also seem that the connection remains active. Myself and a small number of other trusted members have been ordered to travel there. As if they would need to order me. The knowledge contained on that island could jump my research forward by years. We leave tomorrow. And then we come to the last entry. 24th of Solaire, 3291. As suspected, this island, specifically the Master's labs below the estate, have yielded an inordinate amount of knowledge. Not only have I discovered the key to my success, but I have found access to more power than I could have ever imagined. There are secrets contained within these walls that could provide answers to the questions we've never even been wise enough to ask. The mercenaries have also discovered a tribe of goblins, seemingly descended from the Master's former slaves, who have claimed dominion over this island and its jungles. Needless to say, they didn't provide much of a challenge for our hired soldiers. It would appear that I now have a fresh batch of test subjects with which to continue my experiments. When pushed for information about the identity of the ones who had managed to escape the gate, goblins have been decidedly tight-lipped. However, their minds are weak, and the information we need was extracted easily enough, though not without the loss of a few lives. It would appear that we have a meddlesome trio to deal with. We must find them before they return to the chains of the Imperium. It would not do to have them revealing that the secrets of our master have survived. They shouldn't be hard to find. In the meantime, however, this island shall make a perfect place to continue my research in private. And that's going to be where we take our break today.
Oh,
I'm gonna forget my question, damn it.
Lord up. Write it down in chat or something.
Doran's
Can't do
goblin
that.
girlfriend, no!
Yeah. All right. So, we're going to be back in 10 minutes here, folks. We just did a little Lord Dumpy. I feel like that's a really good spot to take our break. Well,
That was heavy, dog.
yeah, well, Chris
Oh my
processes all that.
Oh shit.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna hit the bathroom, refill my drinks, get a little snack in me, and we'll see you guys back in 10. We want to thank y'all for coming by, hanging out, and sticking around for as long as you have. We'll see you in about 10. Hi, what's up, everybody? We're back. We're just waiting on Hell's Corp to get back. He just had to help his wife bring in some stuff or say hi to the wife or something. So he will be back in a minute. We just want to say a quick thank you to the Raiders. Third Fist, thank you for coming in with your crew. Bringing your folks in here. I appreciate you. Hope Terraria was good. I am sorry to hear your internet is dying. I hope you're having a good day. Apart from that, that always sucks.
The Raiders are all right, but I like the Rams better.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, okay, cool. Football.
Go Bucks.
Sports
Go
games.
Bucks.
Just
Sports
kidding,
balls.
I don't
Let's
actually care. Sports
fair.
ball.
Sports ball.
Catch, pass, ball
Thanks
for
for handing the show.
touchdown score.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I need an audio clip of that. For real. Welcome in, Raiders. I am Rusty. These are my friends. We're playing some D&D tonight. We're continuing our 50th adventure, The Might of the Imperium. We're just waiting on Hell's Corp with his weird-ass backgrounds. It's at this point, it's like I'm always so excited to see what he's going to do to traumatize me. Or us, I guess, as a
Mouse
whole.
pant.
Mouse pants. Bottom text.
text!
Wow. That was perfect.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing? Good timing. Good timing. Wow. Okay. That was scary. That was fucking terrifying. Cool. So he's back. So a quick recap for all the Raiders who just got in. We just had like a session and a half of complete bullshit. Just pure chaos. Hurricane.
I rolled a 96 on a
chickens
web
in the face. 96% on a weather check, resulting in a hurricane. Being kind of locked down in this old man's house with him. Doing a couple favors, keeping the house together, repairing some of the damage caused by the gale force winds. They took a moment to kind of swap some stories. The old man, Felonious Thwit, telling stories of how he once defended the farm from a pack of ravenous coyotes.
Mr. Maker made him a coffin.
Mr. Maker made him a coffin, which he is now vowed to keep for himself because Felonious was rude to him. Rightfully so. Mr. Maker gave him a heart attack.
Stanislav is not letting him keep it.
Doing the old man some favors. Yeah, they're helping him just reach that one spot he can't reach, you know. Anyway. Oh, that was the worst thing I've ever said on stream. Anyway, taking a moment to delve into a little bit of missed opportunity. They busted out the journal that Stanislav has been carrying with him for quite some time, realizing that the significance of it might be greater than they had first thought. Luckily, Mr. Maker, capable of reading Abyssal, the language in which this journal was written, in his head...
Afrotelics.
Yeah, Afrotelics, that's fair. In his head did a full translation, leaving only one sentence out loud, being the Island of the Master, which immediately caught Stanislav's attention, but as Mr. Maker continued to read, it became apparent to him that there was definitely some lining up between the events in this journal being mentioned and the journeys that Stanislav specifically had gone on with his previous party. That's where we left off, after just a major lore dump. So, yeah. Mr. Maker, how are you reacting? What are you doing with this information that you have now?
I'm still processing.
Yeah, it was quite an in-depth reading about it.
Stanislav is just looking at you expectantly.
Yeah, I don't look back. I'm like, you can't see my eyes. They're behind the glasses.
And he looks like Gregory.
Thinking. And I still look like
Gregory.
Look like
Gregory. Cool.
I actually, like, after reading it, slowly revert back to what is pretty much become the baseline.
Mm-hmm. You just gonna be Gregory forever now? Okay.
No. Like, I warped back to what I was.
Do you have a cat in a bag too?
Yeah.
That's where mine does the same thing. He hangs out in the dollar store bags. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so you revert back to your non-Gregory form, which is that of...
For now.
Kind of, what does your normal self really look like? We haven't really got a whole lot of detail on
that. A sleazy magician, but well-dressed.
Yeah, so slick back hair.
Not slicked, but it is
thin mustache,
and...
I'm guessing? Thin mustache?
Yeah,
okay.
Well... kind of a thicker mustache, but like a full goatee sort of deal.
Oh, I respect it. Yeah.
Sleazy magician.
Reverts back to his normal form, the changeling noise making its usual as his skin warps and shifts back.
I'm used to it by this point. I've seen far worse.
Yep, it's an interesting sight. How are you continuing?
Sound isn't always there. It's just
it's canon now. Anytime you change, it's making that sound.
It makes it so much harder to change effectively.
Oh, no one can hear it except us. Yeah. And except you, me, and the audience, okay? It's silence.
Like an onomatopoeia, okay?
Yeah, it's it's so people know what happened. That way, if you ever want to do that, everyone knows what you did.
Sure, of course.
Cool. You're keeping things brief, keeping it short. What are you doing?
Like a cat with a bell.
Don't we have a job to pay off? Sounds like the storm's gone down. The levity out of my voice.
Still raining outside.
Well, I guess we can talk about that later. I'm still just kind of looking at you, still half expectantly.
Yeah, so
still
you
not
see,
looking back.
You see Felonious now, like leaning in really close to you, like enamored with the story you've been. Or like leading up to this point, the stories that have been told, and then just like anticipation of what is contained within this supposed cursed book.
Didn't you say you didn't want to know? I gesture towards Felonious.
He leans back, kind of slowly. Fine. Sounds like the storm's coming to an end. Perhaps you'll all like to be leaving soon.
Oh,
mayhaps.
Yeah,
we only have so much food and. No offense, but the big ones eat a lot.
That we do.
See Mantuka kind of just like looking around.
So we're not keeping the house?
Why would you keep my house?
We can.
Of course not.
What? No!
We're not keeping this lovely man's house.
What is wrong with you people?
Into a shorter, just like a miniature Mantuka.
As you turn into a normal person-sized Minotaur person, and Mantuka, you look as there's just like your worst nightmare version. Yeah, your worst nightmare version of yourself, though. You're small. You're small. He got muscle, but you're small. Like, it's kind of
Baby Tuka.
Little Took.
There, baby. You'll get your muscles soon.
I'm sorry, Lil Took
Hopefully,
sounds like the
I'm
best
waiting.
Canadian rapper name in history.
Yes.
Oh my god, okay.
I will teach you the ways of Mogus. Praise
Thank you.
Mogus.
Mhm.
My name is Lil Took and I stay out of the cold.
There's
Okay.
a line. There is another line. I'm not making it, but I'm not a bard today. What's up, zombie? We're making terrible puns today. It's just a thing. It's a thing. Little two coming at you, eh? Oh no. It's like the worst Pitbull. It's like Pitbull, but Canadian.
Yes!
It's horrible.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
I'll go open the door and see how the storm is doing.
Yeah, the wind is still blowing lightly. There's still rain falling, but the
there any
churning mass of clouds is now kind of moved southwards, towards Southwatch, maybe a little past it towards the Imperium. It's like they're going to be getting a little unexpected rain as well. There's no more debris blowing around. The hazard of being caught by a stray piece of wood or a farm animal, in the case of Mr. Maker, is minimal, if at all.
Okay.
Alrighty, everybody get ready.
I begin
to go.
to
I need
drag
about
the coffin.
10 minutes.
But yeah, so as it kind of scrapes against the hard wooden floor, leaving two kind of grooves just in it, scratching the hardwood a little.
Could you lift it, perhaps, please?
I
Mr.
look at
Maker,
him.
I'll give you 1 gold piece to leave that here.
Oh.
I drop it.
I take a gold piece out of my bag and flick it over. Fuck it.
You catch it. Hey,
Yep.
this is now the 3rd gold piece you have made with one of your inventions. This is your 3 for 3. That's
It's
a gold
going
piece of per
great.
By
invention.
the way,
Doing
Mr.
so good.
Maker, you see Stanislav open this like red dragon scale coin purse, and he
Yeah?
pulls. You hear a large jingle of various coins.
It's a pretty sizable coin purse.
Hmm.
Oh no! Hey, you see Mr.
He's
Maker
not.
eyeing
He's
you.
not subtle about it.
No, not at all.
I feel like Stanislav
Like I
isn't
hear it,
really.
Big
my ears perk up
dick
like a dog.
energy.
Yeah, big dick.
The
energy, for sure.
horns that are Mantuka's horns just kind of like shake with glee for
They
a second.
ugh. They quiver.
Stanislav also.
The
Yeah, they
horns
quiver just
quiver.
a
I don't
little
like that. I don't like that at all, dude.
Stanislav pauses for a sec before he starts ritual casting Fine Steed, and he goes over to Felonious. Thank you very much. You quite literally saved our lives. I hope this is enough to pay back that. I'm going to give him a platinum piece.
We didn't really do much to him.
Are you sure it's not necessary? You've already done so much. You fixed the house.
Made
That
a
look-
coffin.
Little mouse even repaired things I didn't know were broken.
Well, it's a big gesture letting complete strangers into your house, and I appreciate it a lot.
That's
Put it in his hand and like close his fingers
Especially
around
when
it.
one of those strangers is a minotaur and a shape-changing man.
And he just grabs the platinum, like
Yep.
unapologetically stuffs it in his little belt loop.
Made-
No hesitation whatsoever.
Okay.
Just a,
Coffin.
I appreciate the coffin. I'll be sure
Thank
to put
you.
it somewhere
That's all I wanted. That's
where
all
I
wanted
won't
from you.
see it, so I won't every day be reminded of my impending death as I grow older.
Put it in the cellar.
That's true, I can't go down there anymore. But
Yeah, exactly.
honey!
Hmm.
Can you put it in the cellar?
You know what? Because you apologized, I'll put it in the cellar for you. Go back to
Uh-oh.
dragging it across the floor.
He kind of
I
like
will pick it up and put it outside for him to drag to the back.
okay. You
I
don't
will
even.
bring it all the way.
Okay, you just put it out the door.
Here.
Mr. Maker just like gradually drags it to the cellar. You put the coffin in the cellar. This has gone on way too long. Like we've been at this
Stanislav
house
is going
for
to
too
ritual
long.
cast Fine Steed.
You do. And which steed are you summoning today?
Kesh, of course.
Ikesh,
Kesh!
your trusty warhorse.
Yep.
Okay.
And his ritual cast of this is basically he does a series of 10 1-minute yoga poses. And at the end, he kind of does this like flourish and poof, there's this shiny golden horse.
You do
And-
yoga to summon the horse?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's how he preps his morning spells too, his fitness regimens. That's
Yep.
his whole paladin character is he's pledged to good
Mhm.
fitness.
Yeah, I don't have a patron.
That's all literally
So
as
funny.
as a
Yeah.
paladin you can be
That's so funny.
anything. Like your patron can be anything. In his case, it's the power of self-belief and getting swole.
And doing awesome shit.
Yeah, it's a glory. A glory is his
That's-
patron.
Yeah,
Badass.
no, it's a glory.
Yeah, so as
Maker's respect went up a little bit.
Ikesh appears as you finish like the tree pose. You just give like one of these.
Yep.
As a little spectral poof, as a golden-haired warhorse appears. Is it glowing as usual, or is it in its?
Yeah, no, it's
we're going glowing horse today.
It's out in its full glory.
Yeah, so not even it's not even golden hair. It's just a radiantly glowing golden horse at this point.
Nice.
That has appeared in front of you, and Stanislav, you just kind of like swing up into the saddle. That's like tailor made for you. It has an S engraved in the saddlebag and everything.
And it's like one of those S's that you would see carved into a desk in high school.
Oh yeah.
With like the 3 lines, and it does like the thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the extent of Stanislav's.
You mean like you do
ability.
the 6 and then you can okay, cool. I'm down with it. I love it. And you mount up. I feel like Mantuka's horse got left behind at some point during the story.
You keep saying that.
Well, you guys did
him.
Did anyone say I grabbed the other horse while we're running from the hurricane last session? No.
I was too busy being on my own horse. And
You were too busy running from a hurricane.
And saving Mr. Maker.
In my own defense, I'm like half a horse, so like, and I keep trying to threaten to eat horses, so like, maybe it just fucked off. It's like, you're not my dude.
I kind of feel like you lost that horse at this point. If it didn't run away during the hurricane, it may have been bludgeoned to death by the debris in the hurricane.
Investigation.
That is fine. I will find a wild stallion and tame it.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. The area where you guys were camped was only about like 10 minutes up the road. 26? Yeah, sure. Taking a quick minute to just scurry up to where you left off. You do find there is a rope, like where it was tied to the tree has been like ripped off entirely and broken about halfway through, and you do see like what remains of horse tracks kind of galloping off into the the
I thought you were going to say what remains of your horse.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say the entrails that are left over.
No. The horse. You gather the horse likely survived.
Baby Gregory, turn into a horse and let me ride you.
Okay, sure.
Yes, baby Gregory.
Wow. Okay.
Stanislav just kind of chuckles.
I feel like the riding horse is in the area of what you can do as a druid, but that's up to you. You don't have to. I like this. This is your choice, obviously.
No. I've gotten better since I went to the Vale there, into the forest with the folks where I found the mask. I've been feeling a little better with this, so it slaps the mask on, and this time it's not bones cracking and snapping, but there's just black smoke that pours out of the eyes and the mouth of it, and it just encompasses Gregory, and he just poof right into a big brawny fucking horse that looks like he can barely move his arms.
Yeah, it's just pure swole. More swole than Mantuka at this point. This horse is all muscle. And almost in a very similar way.
Get up here, and like the predator handshake down and like lift him up.
Okay. Now there's 2 Mantukas.
On fucking Ryan's
if someone does art, I need to find someone to do art of baby Mantuka riding a Gregory horse.
Baby Tukes
with behind big Mantuka. We need
to
get this done right now. Commission that shit. This is insane. That is a baby minotaur
riding in formation with a golden
tiefling on a golden horse, and then unnamed intern, Mr. Maker's Maker's ever loyal companion, just trudging through the dirt behind the horses, and just kind of making his way behind the convoy, moving as fast as he got 40 feet per turn. Like he moves as fast as these horses do if he wants to. His little legs begin to go like oddly fast for a bipedal creature.
Basically he does this thing where like on the bottom of him, he's kind of like always hunched over, like a little hunchback. And on the bottom where his feet are, they kind of like siphon together, and he's got these little paddles underneath it that just flip forward and kind of like cut into the dirt and move him faster.
Yeah, he's just like zipping right along. He's got Heelys. He's basically repping
Heelys.
He's repping some Heelys
with motors.
Wheel feet.
Yeah, he's got wheel feet. So he just kind of like along the road, he does okay. He kind of just zips along the road behind you guys. Don't worry, sir. I don't mind walking. And the little light flashes in his mouth as usual as he speaks, and still like no Bender. Expression. Yeah, exactly, almost. And he has
little robot.
I believe it's canon.
That's right, Furless. When you shut your mouth. Walk, you peasant!
He's just zipping along behind you, and like I believe it's canon. The only facial features that are capable of emoting on this creature are its eyebrows.
Yeah,
he has he's got like movable eyebrows, so he kind of just basically he can do like the Rock. He can do the Rock eyebrow or both eyebrows. That's it.
He's like a cartoon character where they're just two slabs of metal that just kind of like.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah, he's just zipping right along behind you. For the sake of brevity, it does not take you long. You only have about a half day's travel from here to Southwatch on horseback. It's quite quick. I'm trying to like pay better attention to how fucking long it would take to actually traverse this area. There is a scale on the map, and I'm kind of just oh, that's not on this one. I lied to everybody. I'm sorry. It is quite the trip on foot, but
I can be a horse for 4 hours only.
That's about it. Yeah, I'd say half day's travel is about 4.
Ass, like
smack,
making you go faster.
Well,
like,
you realize at a certain point you're just hitting baby Took, little Took,
yeah,
because he's got a horse ass too, basically. And you guys begin as you kind of come over the last hill. You see Southwatch nestled between the two cliffs that begin to go downward and descend into the domain of the Magus Imperium. And the gates are, as usual, ajar on this side.
Do we see our house?
You do, yeah. As you're approaching, you see your somewhat run-down, disheveled farmhouse on the outskirts of town here, just outside the walls. So I think your house was about 5 minutes outside the walls. The repair mouse, he hasn't actually had a chance to look at the house yet.
And if I remember correctly, we have to turn in our quest here.
That was to Gregory. That wasn't to you.
Yes. Well, this has been given like to you. You got the keys to it. It's not so much your house as it is like a headquarters for the organization you're working for, but they basically just allow you to use it whenever you want. And the only people there are you and the guy you answer to currently. But other people might stop in from time to time, you were told, to use it as a safe house. But so yeah, as you kind of come over that hill, the rolling fields kind of like place out before you. The kind of corn just lightly blowing in the wind, the wheat doing the same. You see this run-down, somewhat disheveled farmhouse. Mr. Maker, you're, I think they went in here, but you weren't with them because you weren't here, and I didn't feel like RPing you, so you were doing your own thing in town. Anyway, so this is your first time seeing the house.
We got Mr. Maker in the woods after we got the house.
You came back to bring back all the prisoners and stuff, so you would have walked past the house. Either way, it's your first time like kind of seeing it up close and going in. It is fairly run down. Looks like it could use some light repairs, maybe a new paint job, some fresh thatch on the roof. But there is
there any varnish
around. You're gonna have to roll an investigation for varnish.
Lots of
First thing Mr. Maker asks when he walks into a new room.
I mean, honestly, like if you want to fix up your base of operations. You do not find any varnish with it, unfortunately. You do find some tools and basic materials, but no paint or varnish or anything.
No varnish!
We are going to have some downtime coming up in the campaign where you guys can spend a little bit of time improving whatever you want to in either the house or doing your stuff, but we're not quite at that point yet. Still a couple of things to do. Either way, as you approach, the door is like kind of loosely hanging on the hinges. It looks a little weathered and like slightly rotted from the moisture and stuff. Like it just probably could use a fresh door. And it creaks as you open it. You look inside. There is currently what appears to be a number of candles lit and a fire burning in the corner. You can see on the map now what the layout of the house is. It's basically like a small kitchen dining area and a little barracks with a basement underneath for storage.
Someone in the house?
Yeah. As you enter, you see sitting there, a familiar face for some of you. Mantuka, you'd be the most familiar with this individual. This is the guy who kind of brought you on to the group. But Stanislav and Gregory recognize as well. Keghan Lestrolo, your employer, the one who sent you on this voyage. He's a fairly simple-looking human, maybe half-elvish. You can't really see his ears. He usually has like a fairly well-fitting cap on and a little bit of a hood. Helmet, not a cap. He's kind of just sitting there at the table eating what looks to be like a very basic stew with some bread. Kind of looks up as you enter.
I thought you guys said this was your house. Who's this chucklefuck?
He smirks a little at the chucklefuck remark and just...
He's really cool. This is Kagon.
Jesus, Kagaon? What was that?
praise, more Mogus. And then I'm gonna go up and greet Krang, Kagus, or
Kagon, yeah.
I still look just like Mantuka, just smaller.
Yeah, you're just tiny Mantuka.
Mini Tuka.
As you Mantuka, as you approach and kind of like reach down and give him a handshake, he hits you. It's good to see you again, big man. Glad to see you made it back all right. And apparently found a small twin. New friends.
He's not mine. I found him this way. I went to a brothel. I came out. It was awkward. Anyway, yes.
Roll me a deception check with advantage because Mr. Maker just went, "It's my dad." Yeah, I'll give you that. Wow. Okay. Cool. Roll it. Damn, I was so hoping you'd roll another nat one.
Fucking gosh. I'm like,
yeah. Okay.
I will also flash of genius that.
This is a 20. Yeah, he for the 23. Kakon's like, well, congratulations on having have a child you didn't know about. I didn't realize you were you had been in town that long, or perhaps you visited before. Please.
Minotaurs are very quick. It goes in and we pop them out because we need warriors.
Oh, that's something to do with the breeding.
It's like
pregnancy of minotaurs. Yes, that makes sense.
Like hens and eggs.
Well, what's
furry marmots?
I'm familiar with everyone else here. What's your name, little one?
Little Tuka.
Little Tuka.
Baby Tuka.
Baby Tuka. Okay, well.
Baby Tuka.
You're much more well spoken than your father. Please grab a seat.
Thank you.
The rest of you may sit as well.
I do a little bow before I sit down, like as cordial as possible.
Are you sure this one's yours?
Not entirely, but it's here.
I'd say you're right to worry, my friend.
Let's do this.
So
Stanislav just gives Gregory a little side eye, like really enjoying this.
Same right back.
I noticed
every time we see this guy, I'm gonna change form.
Well, let's get down to business then.
Yes, I notice you're missing someone.
Wait, are we?
You had an archer with you before.
Oh yeah.
Madness struck him, and he ran to the woods, and we don't know where he went from there. But then I found Baby Mantuka, so
well,
the scales of balance were changed and better. Maybe.
Baby Mantuka immediately begins diving into the stew and food that has been placed out for the lot of you. There's kind of just like a pot of stew sitting on the middle of the table with like a little what appears to be arcane flame under it, kind of just keeping it warm without burning the table.
After a hungry little fucker.
I also can't.
After every bite, just Little Tuka very quietly to myself.
Like a Pokemon.
Yeah. Tuka.
I also can't help but notice you didn't return with any prisoners, unless there's one waiting outside that I missed when you were walking down the path.
All right, who's holding the head?
It's in the box.
Head in the box.
Fucking Tuka.
Box.
Gregory, can you take the prisoner out, please?
Yeah, I'll, sure. There's like a.
It's the head in a burlap sack. It's half soaked in old blood underneath. I grab the head.
I did make
set it
myself
down on the table.
Clear, right? When I said I wanted a prisoner, I intended for it to be. He picks it up and kind of sticks to the table a little. Intended for it to be alive, and he puts it down out of sight while he's eating.
Yeah, well, he was alive for most of our journey back, but it didn't exactly go as planned, and had to bring him back a little bit less than complete, unfortunately.
Less than planned.
Yeah.
How so? You have to forgive me, this is a clandestine operation. We tend to work in specifics.
I look at Lil Tuka.
Stuffing his face.
Yeah, just eating, and not even being quiet about it too. It's like
I'm full Mantuka mode right now.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
eating.
He's really leaned into the bit. Mantuka, you kind of feel a sense of little like pride almost at this
Gregory
point.
was eating
Yeah.
before the head came
No,
out, but
dirt
now he
my
stopped.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kekon doesn't stop eating, he just moves it out of the way so he doesn't have to stare at it.
Goblin, eh?
I don't really know if I have any other way to do this, so I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth on the party.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Everyone,
I feel like Lil Tuka is too committed to this.
everyone in the zone of truth, make a
Biggest
is
cock
it
block
wisdom save, I believe.
Oh
Against
wait,
your
hold on a
spell
sec.
save
Hold on a
DC.
sec. Hold on a sec. I don't have Zone of Truth prepared. Never mind. Can't do it.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
Sorry, boys.
Alright, you're good. No worries.
Wow, just saying you got spells there all willy-nilly, getting everyone all
No,
excited.
I forgot that I took that off for something else. I just kind of like glare at Lil Tuka.
I do need an explanation. I figured bring back one alive was quite a simple request.
Mantuka, you gave me a word, big man.
Listen, shit happens in battle. Honor got involved. One of them didn't like it. They fucking slaughtered him. Like,
I understand that. Was the head taken in combat?
No.
Kinda.
So you took him alive
Yes.
For most of the time, yes.
and executed him after?
Because
He puts his
somebody
he puts his spoon
and I
down at this point.
yeah, because somebody and I look at Lil Tuka. Didn't make it very easy for him to get transported back.
That is false accusations.
Dude,
I'll
you should
have
drop
you
the
know,
little Tuka voice
if
and
anything.
just
Yeah,
commit.
no,
Okay.
I only say that whenever I say the words "little too."
Yeah, he kind of. Oh yeah, you're being very proper. He kind of like
Yeah.
he's listening intently as you two argue.
I made him even easier to transport. He kept trying to run away. I cut off his feet. It's an obvious and simple choice. I stabilized him. I spent all fucking night cutting those goddamn things off. Do you know how much work that is? I go to bed and what do I come back to? You've killed him. You've chopped off my toy's head. I mean, the prisoner's head.
Oh.
So it was a matter of honor, then?
Yep.
Generally not how we do things here. In the circumstances, I wouldn't have minded him being left alive until I could question him and then his head being removed after. I can understand why, but know that you have disappointed me greatly.
Bati,
That's fair.
bring up their reward. Half of it. And you see what appears to be he's still like wearing a very rudimentary leather armor, but seems to be like some kind of assistant, or not quite a servant, but like somewhat subservient to this individual. Brings up a bag of gold and then begins like empties it on the table and counts out 200 gold pieces and slides the rest back into the bag and ties it. I do believe it was 200 if they didn't bring someone back alive, right, sir?
Yes, that's right.
You can keep the key.
I still have ways of getting answers. You've just complicated my life a little bit.
Sorry.
It's fine. Like I said, I understand. But if he was being troublesome, perhaps you were right in ridding him of his way to escape.
That's what I'm saying. He fucking full ass escaped. I had to duck off after him, grab him, then after tying him back up, that's when I decided to take matters into my own hand. It's not like I was doing this the whole time.
Well, it is what it is. There's 200 gold pieces there, and you're still free to use the headquarters, but we will still have work for you in the future.
We'll do better next time.
There are interesting things happening that becoming more and more difficult to explain.
What is?
I don't know why that happened.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. No, it's totally cool. Totally good. That's interesting. That's a beautiful silhouette. That's nice. That's
Thanks.
nice.
Thank you.
Did you bring back any other bandit heads or proof of killing? Or do we still have a bandit problem to deal with?
We took pretty
We
good
can
care of them.
testify to taking out quite a few of them.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Who?
Preach.
I'd say Gregory. Oof.
Nope.
Oof.
Can I assist with? We got most of them.
Sure.
I
Well,
You
I
can
also
roll-
said.
Yeah,
I
you
also
guys were
said,
both
yeah, we
trying to
took
help,
him
so
out.
Gregory, roll again.
Oh, gotcha.
We'll give him Gregory. I mean, you roll.
Yeah. No, Gregory can roll it. Gregory can roll it.
Natural, Tony.
Nice.
Well, I've, if nothing else, I've learned to trust Mantuka and his word, and I've never known him to not slaughter everything he comes into contact with. And, young one, you seem fairly trustworthy yourself.
Thank you.
He looks to
Oh.
little Tuka. I'm not sure about you yet.
I thought you were talking to me. Little Tuca.
Baby Tuka!
Very cute. Give
Kitchy,
them-
kitchy.
Gives him a little extra. Another 50. And the guy, Barty, begins just counting out another 50 gold pieces and puts it back on the table. So 250 gold total. For a
Thank
partially
you.
completed assignment. Now, if you don't mind, I must go see someone at a temple about getting that thing. And he looks to the head that's just resting on the ground. To talk.
Oh, right. I haven't heard about that.
I was just reading about a process like that. Crazy.
Wait, what?
You said, what?
That,
Makes,
that
it's
wasn't
fine.
in character. That was.
Oh, okay. That was
No.
okay. We react
That
in
was-
character, Hellscore.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's fine. It's fine.
I actually thought my mic was muted when I said that. So
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We have the witty Hell's Court banter. He doesn't even realize he's muted. He's just like,
These guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. I can't believe I'm in a party with these people.
okay.
There is no way that they know what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, there is no way that they can hear me.
I am
Not at
so
all.
glad that
I'm
I've
so
managed to get
fucking quiet.
A bunch of cucks.
What a bunch! Wow.
Large cock.
penis, if you will.
Oh man.
Anyways,
Take your money. I need to go to the temple. Sit tight. Do you have any other work in town, or are you planning on leaving anytime soon?
We're gonna explore the town a little bit.
You're obviously free to.
we did have something that we had to look into. I need to get some more details about where it is and shit, but apparently
What's
there's
that?
a bit of an undead problem somewhere, and that's right up my alley. So
Well,
The temple wants us to rid the outlining area.
oh,
We can find
Right.
out the temple.
so you're going to the temple too then. Fair enough. You'll understand if I go in private. You're not privy to all information yet, and this man may know things that we don't all need to know yet.
nope, that's fair. I need to do some stuff first, anyways.
Very fair.
Do you need a ride? I can get my friend here to turn it into a horse or an animal, and then we ride it to demasculate him. It's a fun game we play.
I can walk.
Fun
Thank you.
game.
Fun, baby Tuka!
He at this point, as things descend into chaos once again, he picks up the head, kind of just like dragging it a little on the floor, there's a little smear of blood, and he just makes for the door. He looks, he looks at the hobgoblin head.
If this was who I think it was, I'm impressed you managed to kill him at all. I'm more impressed that you managed to take him alive. Too bad.
Bad indeed.
Sit
We
tight.
tried breaking his fingers first, and then he still got away.
I see you're quite fond of torturing people.
A little.
That may
job.
come in handy before the end. Actually, might. If you ever manage to take someone alive,
And he slams the door and leaves.
Oh snap!
Yeah, he hits you with an snap. He just like doesn't even give you a chance to respond. Closes the door and he's gone.
Stanislav laughs at you.
Yeah.
Praise bogus.
Yeah.
Praise Bogan!
You see Barty there with you.
maybe he shouldn't have left me alone with you all.
No, it's fine. Why?
He just goes back into the basement. He's a little freaked out by the two minotaurs praising Mogus in the middle of his living room. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
He just goes downstairs.
So, little Tuca there, you want to tell me a little bit more about what you read in that book?
Not
Please.
particularly. What do you want to know? All that we found out was that you somehow. Wait, what exactly do I know? I know that's
Read the
they're
whole fucking
somewhat
book.
responsible.
You read the entire book. If you want to tell
I
them
know
all of it, you can tell them everything you read, and they can just read what I put in the D&D chat.
Sure. Yeah, no, I was just saying.
Are you trying to give minor details?
Well, you said
He's
like,
trying to
over
be
the
shady
break
as shit.
that I would know what that his original party
Yeah,
was part of
so
it. Was I able to put that together through context too?
you're very smart. You're a highly intelligent character.
Sure.
Based on the story Stanislav told about their time on that island, and then what you read in that that journal, essentially referencing a group of 3 mysterious people who made their way to and from the island somehow, lines up pretty identically with what Stanislav was telling. His was a little, a little more flowery, of course, and a little more
sure.
Like they stood against an army of 1,000 undead goblins type deal. Like it was a performance, but the parts that seem true seem very true, and you definitely draw there as a connection there.
I actually wouldn't mind if you read the whole thing out loud.
No,
because-
I'm aware of this, but just give me a sec.
All right.
I'm gonna write it down in common.
Yeah,
I'm just
sure.
gonna like transcribe it in
Yeah.
common.
Okay.
And just
Actually,
give you guys
I
a
have-
chance to read it yourself.
I have something that might make that a bit easier, and I'm going to pull out this quill.
Yeah.
This will, because I have no use for it. I don't know how to write.
No, that's fair.
This will make writing basically endlessly easy. Apparently, it's called a quill of easy writing.
is that the name?
It's a homebrew
Awesome.
item I made.
Well, homebrew item, yeah.
So, yeah, do you want me to explain it?
I'll just read it out loud really quick here.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Quill of easy writing. This quill is enchanted to indefinitely prevent carpal tunnel or any cramps while writing. It's not magically inked, so you still need ink, but it
Sure.
will
Yeah. It's designed to
make
be.
writing endlessly.
It's very ergonomic. It's very friendly. Yeah, it was just like, what's a fun magic item that like a palace scribe, someone who's writing all the time, would have? And I'm like, this sounds fun. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. So you are handed the quill of easy writing, and as you begin transcribing, you're getting about 3-4 paragraphs in. You're like, my wrist should start to hurt by now. Like this is normal, and it's like it flows effortlessly. You've never written so much.
It doesn't
so
require
easily in your
attunement,
life.
by the way.
Yeah, no attunement.
Awesome.
Yep.
Just you're never gonna get carpal tunnel. It doesn't
Best
prevent
fun
carpal tunnel.
NATO
Yeah,
best ever.
Exactly. If
You know how much I've been writing in this campaign.
Exactly. So if
I'm
you
not
already
watching.
had carpal tunnel, it ain't gonna cure it, but it's not gonna make it worse. It will prevent further flare-ups of carpal tunnel. So there you go. And you begin transcribing, and Stanislav, you're like almost reading over his shoulder at this point as he's doing it, like seeing what's being
Which
written.
I have gotten better at since I had to use
Yeah,
the
you
letters
have like a
to
basic knowledge
spell.
of read. What was your intelligence? Is that 7?
-1.
Okay, so you're fine. You're all right. Yeah, it takes a minute, but as you're reading, you yourself piece together the elements. You hear the tribe of goblins reference that you yourself and your comrades worked so hard to free from essentially the tyranny of the now necromantic beings that residing on that island, and that strikes a chord, knowing that
Yeah.
the
Stanislav
people you
goes
work to
gone
say,
reading that part.
yeah, like the gold kind of fades from Stanislav's face, leaving almost like a pale yellow. Like the shine almost leaves his entire person for a second.
His hair stops blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
what does it say?
Y'all get a chance to read it if you want to as well.
Mm-mm-mm.
And are you transcribing it like more or less exactly what it says?
Yeah, word for word.
Yeah, there's a couple like parts where abyssal doesn't completely translate to common well, and it's like toaster. Something comes up instead of like toasted or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple words that you kind of got to make
I'd
sense
like to
of,
say
but
like I'm trying to.
you're pretty
like-
smart. Yeah, he's piecing it
Yeah.
together. Couple slipped her for the sake of comedy.
Okay, fair.
A lot
So
of
after
like.
taking
brackets.
longer than you guys to read this.
Substantially. Yeah, it's quite an extensive journal. There's like other entries that none are really all that, like none are pertaining to anything important. Most are just like, oh, I graduated from the academy, blah blah blah. If you want the full
Did he put?
Hmm?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, did he put any of his like processes or tests or spells or anything.
No,
Like
this
any
is, you gather this was
how his process worked.
strictly a journal, and if he had research notes, they're probably with him on the island.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Taking mental note of that.
Yep. So, how do you react to that information? What do you guys, you're now alone in this house, except for Barty, who's currently in the basement doing something.
I think Felonious was right. We definitely have to keep the fact that y'all were there kind of...
Maybe we don't say it too loud, Gregory?
No. Sorry.
There is a reason I wrote it down, so that way certain people couldn't overhear.
And that means that they're trying to come for me.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, that
It
one
literally
assassin,
says that right there.
that one assassin seemed to have a hard-on for you.
They really did.
Yep.
Well, we'll be ready for the next one.
I'm also pretty sure that assassin is who that carriage belonged to previously.
You gather the carriage belonged to the guy whose journal you just read.
Ah.
The guy who fireballed you and then disappeared inside the carriage.
The assassin said learn not to take things that aren't yours. The fuck does she mean by that?
You gather the journal you're currently holding containing secret notes pertaining to a secret island. Is probably a pretty clear indication. Even you gather based on the knowledge you have of the Oculi Tacit, from what you've heard from your brother, who's also a worshipper of Kellenvor, just doesn't assassinate people. You gather they're not big on owning ostentatious or flashy property like that. They pretty much get by with what they carry on their persons. So if they showed up, a
wizard of the Imperium
who seemingly is working, based on what you're reading in this journal, under the nose of the Imperium, where you know for a fact necromancy is even there, where they have a slave labor force to do everything. Like, they have strict rules against enslaving the dead. And necromancy in general, it's strictly outlawed there, because Ropash was once a member of the Council of Minds, the ruling entity that rules from Pillarstone, and his experiments led to him trying to essentially rise up and take control for himself, and from that day forward, that's when necromancy was banned.
So it's not a morality thing, it's them just trying to maintain power.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, like the idea that you could enslave an army of undead and rise up and have numbers far greater than any they could ever muster is what caused it. They don't actually... And you would all know that necromancy is still kind of practiced some places in secret, specifically by the wealthy and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, shit. That's definitely heavy.
Yeah, heavy's the word for it. Should we be here? Should we be getting away from here? Or... I think we're kind of safe where we are now, right?
Well,
this is kind of a shitty house. If we get another monsoon, I don't know if it's going to stand.
Yeah, I want to talk to Mending Mouse later.
I love Mending Mouse. Mending Mouse is my favorite
well, we
character.
could deal with that undead situation that the temple wants us to, and then, move further north?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
How about we go to the bar and blow off some steam, and I get some booze before I die with you bunch of hoe bags.
Lil Tuka!
Yeah, I knew I like that guy.
By the way, I'm not taking any of that gold because I'm the one who off that guy. So you guys split it amongst yourselves. You need it.
No.
Please, more for us.
You get 250
Grabs
gold.
the bag.
Yeah, I literally told Chris when he's like, I'm gonna give up my gold. I'm like, yeah, Mr. Maker's not gonna complain. So, between the three of you, divide up the 250 however you see fit. I leave that in your all capable hands. Other than that,
also gonna change into my fine clothes.
Found the items. There was a sword I need to get you a write up on, or was it armor? It was armor. There's some magical armor that Mr. Maker found.
Right.
I think it was just +1 armor or something.
It's the mithril half plate.
It was mithril half plate. Yes, my bad.
Oh.
I've got it on.
Oh,
yeah, he's wearing it. Which is, yeah, gotta love those artificers. So, as a lot of you kind of go over what you've just read, everyone kind of reacting in their own way, Stanislav seemingly reacting the most, you decide to take a visit down to the local bar where you all first kind of bonded as a unit. In Southwatch, I believe is called the Last Watch Tavern.
Wait, is
Last
this the
Watch
one
Inn.
I was at?
Yeah, this is the one where you did your first card trick.
What time of day is it, by the way?
You did
Barrel clock,
it's
bitch.
probably around noon.
Okay. You guys go ahead to the bar. I'll catch up. I just got to make a quick stop. Got a guy I want to talk to about something.
Are you sure? Do you need somebody?
No, it's all good. You go with.
You need an accountability buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I trust you. I'm like backing away from him, like eyes. I trust you.
I'll just be a couple of minutes. Don't worry. It's all
Okay.
good. And I'm gonna go to the blacksmith.
Okay. So you all kind of head the same direction, realizing that the blacksmith is directly across from the tavern. It's kind of that awkward thing. You're like, okay, bye, and then just start going the exact
Well, I wait
same
to say
way.
that until the splitting point.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to pull up the map here if I can find it. To put things in perspective for you, you guys are way up here in the north, like way beyond the edges of the map. And then you make your way into Southwatch. There's a large metal gate on this side that is like... It's a large wooden gate with a metal portcullis that kind of comes down in front of it. So it's kind of a combination. It's less fortified on this side, being that they don't ever really have any worries of being attacked from the side their own kingdom is on. And the gate is currently left open, just ajar as usual. The two guards now have, like, you've been going in and out long enough of the town that, like, some of the guards are beginning to recognize you. They kind of just wave you past as you make your way in. Some of you still displaying the badges you earned as a station of your power, or perhaps a reward given to a small child. You don't know. You make your way in, and it's as usual, it's just kind of a thin, downward sloping road that goes in between these two walls, leading down to a little bit of a crossroads. And as you reach that on your left, you do see the buildings you're looking to go to. The first being George's Forges, a small but well-made blacksmith shop in town that supplies a lot of stuff to the garrison, so it's fairly like functional, very function over form. Nothing about it looks pretty, but it works. It is good steel, and it is reliable. The rest of the party, as Stanislav splits off, make their way towards the Last Watch Inn. Also fairly well run and maintained, a little older inn that has been the home to many of an adventurer, is frequented by the members of the garrison here, being one of the only drinking holes in town that don't water down their alcohol, knowing that the garrison bar kind of waters down their ale a little bit to keep the soldiers less inebriated. So Stanislav, we'll go with you first. What's up?
I want to do two things. First
Sure.
off,
Sure.
if that's all right.
Yeah.
First, because it's 83.3. I take the last gold piece out of the bag,
Mhm.
and I go like lightly, "This is for the torture," and like put it in UI's like seeming back pocket. Give him a little pat on the back.
It's like essentially a slot into a vending
yeah.
machine, like a
He's
coin.
basically just like
Yes, he's a piggy bank. He's a piggy bank.
Yeah.
So as you hear like the little wringle of probably like 3 or 4 coins that you've given him over the course of the last year or two. Thank you, sir. And you see the eyebrows kind of go into an expression that would be a smile if the rest of his face could emote.
Of course.
He likes to. You guys like to give each other a hard time. There's love there. Thank you for the
and
lurk,
then-
Mystics. Have a good shift.
I wanna actually go to the forges with him.
Oh, okay. So, Mantuka.
Stanislav like stops to protest for a second, and then he's like, "Fuck it, all right,
Okay.
let's go."
So Mantuka and Gregory head to the inn. Mantuka is making a beeline at this point. He wants his booze. He's going. So
10-4.
Mr. Maker and Stanislav, you enter, and you see again in front of you. One sec, I gotta open.
I'm looking for George.
Yup.
George's Forges.
George of
Before
George's Forges.
Before I step in, is there like a little like dark area where nobody can really see, like a little closet or something? Just like a little offshoot.
Roll me a perception check or investigation, your choice.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, there's a couple nooks and crannies where there's like stray ends for arrows and crossbow bolts and stuff.
Sure.
There's not really any closets per se. It's mostly just like open displays
fine.
leading into
Just-
a back forge.
where somebody can't see me. That's
Okay.
all I need.
Can't
And I
see
just
you?
wanna, like, not very well.
Okay, it is like you're kind of obscured. It is a relatively small space, though, so it's kind of hard to do it. If you're trying to do something stealthy, I'd say roll me a stealth check as well.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I want to morph back into Mr. Maker form.
Okay. As your face returns to normal, and as the door kind of like opens and closes, you hear the ding ding ding, little bell ring, and you just hear coming from the back, ping, ping, ping. I'll be out in just a minute. Ping.
No rush.
Ping. And you can tell he's kind of putting the finishing touches on something, and then you hear the ever so satisfying sound of something being quenched in some kind of liquid. You're not sure what he's using.
Stanislav smiles at that.
You hear the sound of a weapon or some kind of metal object being placed again on an anvil or some kind of something. And you see the same stocky figure, quite muscled from years of swinging the blacksmith hammer, somewhat darker skinned man, very firm muscles, short cropped haircut to avoid any singeing or anything. The beard you can still see those little bits of burn where little sparks might have flown off and singed the beard a little bit. It's the same George that you've traded with in the past. He comes in, he sees you. Oh, we haven't seen you in town in a little bit.
It was out and about doing some stuff. It's good to see you.
Yeah, how you been?
Not too bad. I was wondering if you learned anything more about that sword.
I actually didn't get a chance to. Didn't take too long. A couple days after you sold it to me, someone came into town, seemed quite interested in it.
Do you remember that person's disposition was? What he was like? What he looked like?
I was he had a hood up for most of it. I didn't make out much. He had maybe human, half-elf. Guessing human. Looked like he might have came from the Imperium at some point. He wasn't wearing...
Do you often do business with people whose eyes you can't see?
I saw his eyes. His eyes were brown. Saw his face, too. I just couldn't make out if he was human or an elf. Based on the Imperium, I'm going to assume he was at least mostly human. They don't take too kindly to elves down there. Seemed really interested in the sword, though. I told him about it and what it was capable of doing. He was just looking for items of interest that had been sold to us recently. Seemed quite interested. Yeah, he asked who sold it to me, but I told him I needed to protect my clients and my customers. So I didn't give out any information, but bought the sword, paid hefty premium for it. I didn't even have a chance to give him a price. He just dropped a pile of gold on the table, and that was it.
Well, that's good for you, at least.
You're
make
telling
some money
me.
off of it.
Yeah, I used it to buy some new stuff off a guy who was just coming through town the other day. Got a whole new stock if you're interested.
I actually kind of am. The axe is great, by the way.
With the stealth check, by the way, whatever you're trying to do back there, you are quite well hidden. He is not really actively scanning you, and his passive perception's not that high. So, in terms of stock, looking around, you see he still has the very basic gear that he had before, some armor, some other stuff. He's got, like, now kind of a wall where you can see a number of different objects hanging that you're not currently detecting magic, but the craftsmanship on them suggests, and some of the arcane runes that have been placed on them do suggest enchantment of varying kinds. I got quite a few of these in. I got some new armor. Here, I got this. And he pulls up a breastplate that kind of has, like, kind of engravings on it of what appear to be, like, storm. Little bits of snow blowing on the wind kind of deal. Quite intricately crafted, among other things.
Interesting.
1 second.
Do you mind if I do a thing to discern some of the magic on these items?
Yeah. I mean, you can also ask if you're curious about anything.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're able to tell me exactly what they do, that.
Yeah. What are you curious about? Are you looking for anything in particular? Or is it just what do you need?
Maybe points to his dented up but still functional armor. Maybe looking to upgrade this or the shield. Something like that.
We don't have anything fancy in shields right now. We got the basic ones. Probably not much more than what you got there. Armor looks like it's seen better days, though. I mean, we got this right here. He gives it a smack, the breastplate's holding with the inscriptions on it. And he gives it a tap. It kind of rings with a metallic ting to it. This will keep you keep you from getting hurt by any of the elements in the cold if you're ever up in the mountains, up in the north. It's got resistance to cold as far as I can tell. We've done some light testing on it. Some of the boys were drinking. It was pretty fun. So it'll keep you from being affected too much by the elements. You're wearing a chain shirt, right?
Yeah.
He pulls out another chain
it's
shirt.
full chain. It's chainmail.
Okay, he pulls out a chain shirt and a half plate. Both appear to be similarly crafted tiers. It doesn't have the elements that the Hushroot tribe would have put on it. We got these. There's both made of mithril as well. Kind of similar to what your buddy over there is wearing.
You wouldn't see that.
I mean, he saw you.
Armor.
Oh, it's shiftweave armor. That's true. I mean,
it
to be
looks
fair,
like a finely crafted Italian suit.
That's fair. My bad. We'll retcon that. Keep you more protected than your buddy's suit over there. I'll tell you that much.
Money.
Wanna try that?
Is that an invitation?
Shoot me.
Are you serious?
Shoot me.
Is he serious? He just grabs a hammer and fucking hucks it at you.
Yeah.
Nice.
He misses entirely. So he throws this blacksmithing hammer at you and ping, hits the center of your chest and just falls to the floor. With his strength bonuses, it was still an 8, but still. Yeah, it hits and falls. Okay. I've never seen anything like that. Is that a suit made of armor?
Carbon fiber. And then I just gotta go back to checking the shit on the walls.
Never heard of that. Is it some kind of strange elvish invention that they haven't?
No, I made it.
Interesting. Did you make anything else I might be interested in seeing? Trading. Always interested in fun goodies.
I start showing off the hand crossbow and grappling hook attachments.
Oh, see, I make things of my own too. I'm quite the inventor. And he pulls out. This is a waffle iron, and it's just a cast iron waffle iron. This is a cast iron skillet, and he brings out a nice skillet and everything. You gather George.
I see your grappling hook, and I raise you a George Foreman grill.
I want to look at it.
I was wondering if I'd get to make that reference.
Crafted it is.
It's very well crafted. Probably you're paying a little bit for the brand.
Sure.
It's probably pricier than you would think it would be, but it is
George's Foreman's.
Do you know how long I've been waiting to get a George Foreman reference in this sumbitch? Dude, you guys been in this town for 8th Street. So he's showing off essentially what is very well made, but still slightly overpriced cooking implements.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm really proud of this one. It makes a mean waffle.
I bet.
The wife loves them.
Yeah, I bet. Waffles are good.
You want one?
Sure, yeah. How much?
I don't.
It's only 5 gold pieces. It's not hard to make. It takes more time because you got to get the ridges in there.
Of course.
5 gold pieces, it's yours.
Yeah, fellow crafter to crafter.
No way.
Yeah, it's sick.
He's actually, he made that thing on his arm.
Well, I can see that. So was that like a grappling mechanism? You shoot that at something in it?
I shoot it up at the air and kind of lift myself up with it. It
goes right through it goes right into the ceiling and just thunk.
Yeah. Just up a little.
He just snaps his head up as you
Stanislav does too. He's never seen this in action.
Can you get down? Get down from there.
Yeah,
roll me a d20, please.
Sure, of course. MDD. My bad.
You're good. Okay, you're fine. On a nat 1, it fails. You'll fall on your ass.
Yeah.
And that number will go up based on how many people are on the grappling hook. So if you're carrying someone else, yeah. Either way, he's quite impressed. He's like, mostly I just do weapons and grills, but it's really impressive.
I've got this auto-loading hand crossbow.
Can I see that?
Yeah, I shoot at the wall.
You don't have to roll for it.
3 at a time.
You don't have to roll for it. There's still a slight reload time to it. Stanislav, you've never seen this work before either. You watch as Mr. Maker just points his wrist at the wall and goes. You see a crossbow bolt, just a little tiny crossbow arm go, and this bolt come flying out and thunk into the wall, and then you just hear, and you see another bolt kind of just like slide into the slot and pulls itself back and reloads its next shot. It takes quite, like, in terms of how long it would take in a combat round, it takes a full 6 seconds for that thing to go and all the way around. But it is a self-loading wrist-mounted crossbow. That is deeply impressive. I have to say, you could make an absolute fortune with that.
It seems like it. It's still a prototype right now, so I'm trying to refine it out.
It seems a little slow. You might want to work that up to a greater speed. But overall,
the spring tension is a little lower than I was expecting it to be.
Maybe you need a different spring. I got a couple if you're looking.
Do you have any mithril scraps laying around?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Mithril's pretty expensive, but I might. What's it worth to you?
Persuasion?
Persuasions, please. Easy. Yeah, I think I can help you out if you're willing to pay for the materials. I'm more than happy to sell some to you.
Sure.
Mithril's pretty rare. I don't get it a lot, and usually when I get it, it's already made. But I got a few scraps from the chainmail repairs that I've had to do over the years, and you melted it down. Maybe you could make it into some.
Should be able to make
give me a second.
Small.
He goes out and he comes back and essentially has a box of like links for chainmail that he uses for repairing and fixing stuff, and he has a number of like mithril, like an entire little box of mithril chain links.
Sure. What if I buy some of these off you? Would you mind if I partook of your forge for a bit to get it proper? I don't really have a proper setup out here anymore.
Oh, you want to use the roll me another persuasion check.
Okay.
I'm gonna say for that one, he does have the materials you need.
I'm gonna flash genius that as well.
Okay, so 15.
15.
Yeah, I'm a little stacked with projects at the minute. I got a lot going on. There's been a little activity of late, and I've been trying to keep up with the orders. But yeah, Goldman, you vouch for this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think I do.
I'll tell you what. Come back tonight after we close, and I'll leave the forge hot for you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have my assistant keep an eye on you.
Oh, that's fine. UI also came with me, by the way.
Oh yeah, he sees the. Oh shit, yeah, he does.
Yeah, I want him to
at this point, he notices the robot. Is that an automaton?
Yeah, it's mine.
I have never seen one of those up close. And at this point, he like scoots out from behind the counter, his blacksmith apron kind of hanging. You see he's kind of wearing like, they were pants at one point, but like it looks like sparks and shit have just fallen on the bottom, and they've kind of burned.
Like fishnets now.
Yeah, kind of burned into essentially shorts with like a few little pieces hanging off the edge. And he goes over to.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask him. Did you ever meet the small wolf child?
Little Timothy.
No, not that wolf.
Little
child.
Timmy. What small wolf child?
Gregory.
Oh yeah, the little kid with the magical toolbox. Yeah. He's got a lot of weapons in there. I know that. I sold them to him.
That nice. But
you might think Mr. Maker
actually brought him back to life. Which I'm pretty proud of. I think
you brought that child with you and he died.
Well, okay.
To be fair, I pretty much did too.
You're an adult.
He's gonna call CPS.
Yeah, like that is maybe he's too young to be adventuring with you guys. I don't know.
He's legal drinking age. It's fine.
Everyone's legal drinking age.
To be fair, I just kind of fell in with him. Not my.
Fair enough.
Not my call.
This is really
by
an
fell in.
amazing
You mean
machine.
saved by?
And I'll tell you what. If you're willing to let me hang out here tonight while you're working the forge and spend some time looking this little guy over.
Sure.
I'll give you some of the mithril scraps for free.
Deal.
How much you need?
Do I roll to see how much I would need?
What are you trying to do?
Like, I'm trying to reforge a spring, like a proper, lighter, faster spring.
Oh, easy. I mean, you would not need much for a spring, and it's already chainmail linked, so it's essentially like already coiled up nice.
And if possible, I would like, if I have had enough, to be able to kind of like, if not remake the magazine mechanism totally, like at least like plate it in mithril. Make it look all sexy.
Okay. So again, I need a few pounds of mithril. Mithril is quite light, so probably like I'd say 2 pounds worth would do the trick. If that. It's like nearly weightless, so probably 1.5 pounds would do the trick. I will say you get enough to make some improvements and maybe add a little bit of flash and finish to it. I know you're about that life.
I do. I got the ice, baby.
Yeah, so he like weighs it out in the scale and slides it over to you.
In addition to the 2 armors, what else does he have?
Okay, so on the magical wall shelf, there is what appears to be a battle axe, a rapier, a great axe, and a hand crossbow. There is still the short sword that was here last time you were here that's kind of like has a little bit of cold, what appears to be like a mist coming off of it. And it's kind of like made from this almost ice-looking steel. And I believe it's also glowing ever so faintly, but... yeah, it appears to be vaguely enchanted with some kind of cold magic. He's kind of explaining. He's like, that is a frostbrand sword. So anything you hit with it gets a little extra something of cold energy, I guess you could say. It does a little extra. It gets a little chilly. It'll also be able to extinguish fire. It's got all kinds of fun properties. That's a little pricier, though, if I'm being honest with you. That one's coming at 2,200 gold pieces. Other than that, I have this, and he pulls out a piece of, another piece of armor. As far as I can determine, this is a mariner's half plate. So to help out if you're ever in the water, you ever need to do any swimming. I think you can breathe underwater with it, if I'm not wrong. Nope, you can't. You still need.
I'm pretty happy with this armor. I think it's a little bit more rotund than those ones there.
Fair enough. If you need me to fix it up, I'm more than happy. You can just leave it here overnight, or I guess your buddy's got the forge tonight, so tomorrow swing in. I can fix it up for you.
Sure. What about? I mean, I already have this axe, but what about that other axe there? Interesting.
The great axe or the battle axe?
Oh, there's both?
Yeah, there's both. Or the battle axe is slightly smaller, obviously, and then the great axe is
what
like,
I have right now is
essentially, it's like almost just like a really big like lumber axe. Like if you know in For Honor, like the Viking dude with the huge two-handed axe, it's essentially that.
Well, I want to be able to still use my shield, so that's probably a bit out of my
yeah, that would
my category.
Probably be a bit of an issue for you. But
what do you think you got there that would be an upgrade to this? I mean, you know all about this one.
What are you wearing right now?
No, I'm talking about weapon.
Oh, weapon?
Yeah.
Honestly,
the armor's...
apart from what we got there's not a lot going. What you see is what you get. I could make something for you, but we need to find someone to enchant it. That would cost extra money. It would take quite a while, but if you want to commission something, we can set that up for you.
I mean, if you could fix up this armor and then I could find someone to enchant it, that'd be good too.
There's someone in town who can do it. Kind of have a little partnership going in between here and the Rusty Cauldron, so got some minor.
Have I been to the Rusty Cauldron?
No, you guys skipped the Rusty Cauldron, the one place in here that was created by and named by one of our viewers. So thank you for that.
Yep. Well, I mean, maybe do you know how much they charge?
No, it gives me a bit of a deal because we're old friends. You see, I could probably get it all put together for you and have him enchant it for a reasonable price. What do you want done to it? If you want basic enchantment, that's fairly affordable. Something more advanced would be more so. What do you need?
Just maybe make it a little bit more durable. Just a reinforcement enchantment of some kind.
You won't be able to
place in town?
It's an alchemy shop, but the guy who runs it is also kind of an amateur-ish enchanter. Nothing that really...
Out of character, just like a +1 attachment or enchantment.
Okay, yeah. Something I could do. It's easy enough. The mithril is already pretty, give it a little smack, pretty sturdy, but if you want a little something extra on it, I might be able to set that up. Just looking at... Probably looking at about... he says going to his price check. Where the fuck? That'll work. That'll do the trick. Plus... I just need to... So that's chainmail, right?
Yeah, it's like mithril chainmail.
Yeah,
more or less. And I looked between it and the half plate. The chainmail is still one higher.
Okay. Why can't I find just basic ass chainmail? Oh, I'll say all together. Because you're a big spender, you hooked me up that sword, and we made quite a bit of money on it. I'll say 500 gold pieces to get you the armor improvements and a basic enchantment on it.
Sure.
After that, I'd say it's about another 1,000 gold piece per level of enchantment you want to put on it. Something with a basic protection. 500 gold will do the trick, I think.
Sounds like a deal. And we're gonna go about removing it from under. Well, no,
You're gonna spend 15 minutes in the middle of the store taking your armor off. I believe chainmail takes
I'll come back tomorrow.
8 minutes to doff.
What I have, I mean, we're going to the fucking bar. I probably would have taken it off because I said I put my fine clothes on.
It's up to you, because like, if you're actively not wearing armor and you get attacked by something,
yeah,
it's up to you. How much traveling you want to do unarmored. Sleeping, I am already assuming you guys are doing so unarmored unless you're in light armor, because you can't sleep comfortably in plate armor. It's just not.
Do you have something I can potentially borrow in the meantime?
You want a loaner?
I mean, just in case. Nothing fancy.
All right, since you're leaving yours here, he grabs the mithril chain shirt and just tosses it to you. Not going to be as good, but it'll do the trick for a bit if you need it.
Well,
you bring it back with any damage on it, you're not getting your armor back, and I'm keeping your money. Sound good?
Sounds good. I'm going to pull out the 500.
Kind of a joking manner, but you sense that he's probably pretty serious about the whole thing, too. Mr. Maker.
Yeah, so I'll pull out 40 platinum and 100 gold.
Okay. Always love it when you folks come in here. You just kind of slide into his coin purse.
You see Mr. Baker just like glare over his shoulder.
He sees you eyeing the money. Smiles at you
too.
and just puts it away. Can I do anything for you there, young man?
Well, I actually was wondering if you might be interested in just taking this light crossbow off my hands.
Sure. What do you want for it?
Now that I've made this little friend here, I don't particularly need it much.
Fair.
I was thinking 20 gold.
Deal.
Yeah.
So
because you're being so
gold.
kind as to let me use your...
I don't even know how much a light crossbow is, honestly. He just takes that deal because you guys have brought him so much money. It's like George is kind of dripping in swagger now. He's got like a gold tooth and shit.
25.
Okay, yeah, so he just takes the 20. And he's happy with that. So you add 20 gold to your inventory. He grabs the light crossbow, just hangs it on the wall with some other light crossbows. So while all that was happening with Stanislav, you made your stealth check earlier, rolling a 20. What were you doing while you were over there?
Oh, me? I just wanted that check while I was going, like, through the door, so I could change.
Yeah,
I just didn't want anybody to see me as Mantuka changing into Mr. Maker.
What?
So,
no, not because I didn't want anybody to see me as Mantuka, because I want to maintain the illusion that little Tuka is his own person.
You're better than that.
I am trying to maintain the illusion that little Tuka exists.
Back to character.
Fair. You guys get everything you need. Come back tomorrow, I'd say probably in the evening, to get your armor. It's going to take a little bit. Enchanting takes a long time, usually, too, honestly. It could be... I don't have to talk to him. It could be up to a week, even for a low level.
You close about 5, right?
6 or 7 or 8, depending on the time. But I'm going to be working the forge probably pretty late. So come by around, like, just after sundown, I'd say.
All right.
Cool. At that point, I'm just going to take a 2-minute break. I really got to hit the bathroom. So
I really had to piss, too.
Okay. So we're going to hit the break screen for, like, 2 minutes. We're going to come back. And we're going to RP the last little bit here, because it's getting dire. All right, we'll be back.
The bar boys.
Hey everybody! Sorry about the little impromptu break there. Sometimes you got to pee. Ryan has done a third costume change. We're now looking at Aphrodite, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
look at that, looking beautiful up in here, looking beautiful. You guys pay up at George's Forges. You get all your orders done, get what you need. The armor, he said, could take up to a week. So for now, you got Mithril Chain Shirt to do with for the foreseeable future until that's done. He's going to consult with his dude, and then tomorrow when you swing in, or when Mr. Maker comes back tonight, you'll know a little more. So, while that whole conversation...
2 pounds of mithril.
You did. While that whole conversation is happening, Mantuka and Gregory, you guys are making your way to the Last Watch Inn, a small, well-made, and well-maintained tavern owned by a woman named Femria and her son, Aaron, who works in the kitchen. They have a fairly simple, occasionally rotating menu of goods and basic ales and wines. Some harder liquors, too, if you ask. As you enter, you're once again greeted by the familiar smell of this tavern. Both of you have spent a couple nights here. It's familiar. It's kind of got a little bit of an old musty wood smell over the years of all the ale and stuff that has seeped into the floor.
And a slight
Musty, rusty.
Musty, rusty. There you go.
A slight Febreze scent.
A slight Febreze scent that has begun to fade over time.
Oh, sure.
It's not as powerful as it was
Like a
last
porta
time you were
potty in
here,
here.
Mantuka. Yeah, kind of. Like, it's a little porta potty-esque. But like at a metal festival. Or like a music festival of any kind. Yeah, so it's like puke. Yeah, it's bad. No, it's not. That's not that bad. It's a nice inn. Anyway, you enter. You find the inn fairly empty at this point. It is lunch. There's a couple people who's trickled in here from the fields, who are kind of eating just their basic food for the day. It is quite quiet. It is slow. There's a fire lightly burning in the corner. Not enough to give off an inordinate amount of heat, just enough to keep it fairly toasty in here in the cold damp outside. As the door, as you enter, you are greeted once again by the familiar sight of Femria behind the bar, kind of just wiping it down and doing some light cleaning. She sees you come in. Oh, it's been a while since we've seen you two in here. How you doing? Hi, little buddy. How are you?
Oh, good. Really good. Thank you, ma'am.
Good. Can I get you guys anything? What can I do for you?
Get me the usual.
Cask of ale?
Yes.
Okay, what about you?
In a dirty cask.
We don't have dirty casks. We only have fresh casks.
I'll take it.
I could throw some dirt on it if you want me to.
Okay. Begrudgingly.
She reaches down, just grabs some dust or dirt from the floor, and that's kind of wiped off someone's boot, and just throws it on the cask. And puts it on. There you go.
One for my homies.
10 copper pieces, please.
Yeah, no, we'll start a tab. It's that.
You gonna do a tab? Okay. Okay, it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night then. She grabs she just essentially writes your name on the tab behind the bar, so she can keep track of it. What about you?
Just a glass of wine.
He gets a cask too.
We don't have casks of wine. We have bottles. You can have a bottle of
No,
wine.
like the exact same thing that you just gave Mantuka.
Okay. Are you sure? Okay. She reaches and grabs
He's
another essentially a small keg of ale, and just plops it down. So you now have two
Bubba kegs.
Two Bubba sized, they're essentially Heineken mini kegs. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly the size of what you are drinking currently. Yeah, that is.
But it's made out of wood.
Yeah, it is made out of wood. Does it float? Yeah. So you are handed this. Feel free to go to any table you want. You all know the drill. If there's anything you need, just give me a wave. We do have some new food items on the menu that we're trying out. If you're hungry.
Completely gonna ignore her and go to
typical
a corner booth
ignored by all the men in my life,
the wall.
As per usual.
Yeah. Blah blah blah. Women.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
That's where I'm going.
Yep. You go to your usual seat in the corner, get tucked in. She just kind of eyes you and crosses her arms a little. Gregory kind of hobbles over with his kid. Yeah.
Women be shopping.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Women, am I right, fellas?
Damn it, Gregory. Okay, I'm over it. I'm over today. And you tuck into the corner and begin drinking a cask of ale along with Gregory as he stumbles over and kind of plops it down on the table. Are you doing anything in particular? Or are we just drinking today? Is there food being ordered? What's the plan?
Gregory.
I'm gonna teach Gregory how to do drinking games.
Bro.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have one in mind? Or do you want me to come up with a
Beat
drink?
Mantuka. Drink
Okay.
more.
Okay. It's sheer
Win.
volume. Sheer volume. Okay. So we're gonna do
Good old Irish drinking contest.
So yeah, basically, we're gonna do, let's say, 5 rounds. We're gonna roll straight d20s. Could do a Constitution save. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna roll Constitution saving throws. We're gonna do 5 rounds. Whoever wins is gonna the most is gonna be the winner. So starting from the top, Gregory and Mantuka, each of you need to make me a Constitution saving throw to try to knock back this booze. Gregory coming in with a solid 16. Mantuka, as soon as you say beat me, Gregory just like pops the keg or the fucking cask and just begins pouring it into his mouth.
Baby cake.
Yeah, and just trying to drink and keep up with you. Oh, Gregory has advantage. That's 2. Rimlock just redeemed.
Oh, Rim, thank you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Burn those dice.
Okay, so it's still slightly better. Mantuka, for a moment, you're kind of impressed. Like, Gregory's he's doing all right, better than you expected. And you just one-hand the cask into your mouth and begin downing the booze in just a rapid fashion. Gregory, you kind of like look over the edge of your cask as you're trying to drink, and you just see Mantuka one-handing it. You guys roll again. We got 5 more to go. So far, it's 1-0 for Mantuka.
Oh.
Wow! Oh shit! Mantuka, you're like a little distracted at one point by how good you're doing and how good your fucking biceps look in this pose. You get a little distracted.
So much foam.
Yeah, and it's a
Gregory
little
stands
foamy.
up on his chair.
Yeah, Gregory's up on the chair now, just 2-fisting this cask of ale into his mouth. We're tied 1-1. Roll again. Roll again. Or if any of you want to do anything to fight dirty, to cheat, now is the time. Oh, Gregory.
Mantuka don't need to cheat. Mantuka just good.
Yeah, Gregory is beginning to like, you feel like you're overcoming at this point. You're gonna win. You're doing good. You are out drinking the master drinker. Thank you for using the nat 20 emote when there's a crit. I've been waiting for someone to do that. We've had a lot of crits.
Yay.
Anyway, Gregory, you're kind of like holding it up and just sending it. Mantuka, now no longer distracted by your biceps in their glorious form, and seeing that Gregory is actually beginning to like outpace you, you just like begin shaking the fucking keg into your mouth and splashing it down. But you have a big ass minotaur
Ultimate
mouth.
warrior
Yeah, you're not even spilling a drop. So it's 2-1. We got 2 more rounds to go. Go ahead, 2 more checks, guys. 2-2. Oh shit. It's just a steady back and forth. At this point, Femria is watching. She like opens the kitchen door. Yeah, Aaron, you want to come see this? And Aaron goes out, and she's like, "Tell you what, I got 2 gold on the little one." And Aaron's like looking at Mantuka and his drinking skills. Yeah, I'll take that bet. That sounds good to me.
At that moment, you see Greg goes in for the box. But then he looks over at Mantuka, just going at it, and he takes the hand off, and he just back on it, and he's
decides to fight clean. Okay, so final round of drinking. I need both of you to make me 1 more check apiece, please. 1 more saving throw. Ooh.
Oh!
That's gonna be rough.
Oh!
Now 1!
Oh my
god! Oh my god!
Gregory, as you step back and realizing that perhaps this is the one time in your life you're gonna get to show up Mantuka at something, you tilt your head back even further, open the throat, and let the last of that keg, foam and all, just slither right down there. And you just put the keg down, slam it onto the table. It shatters as it comes apart. And you look at Mantuka, who is just now beginning to reach the end of his cask. And as he does, you notice one of the flies that's kind of been buzzing around the tavern just land on one of his nostrils and kind of begin going in there while he's trying to drink this booze. And he like takes a second to breathe through the nose and just like sucks this fly right back, immediately causing him to like cough, and like some of the booze spills out. The cask is still mostly empty, but it spills all over the table, splashes on you because you're standing up on your chair. And then you just see a fly come buzzing out of Mantuka's mouth as he's coughing. And you stand
Went for the
victorious.
full nasal cavity too.
Yeah, full like in one and right out the other side. Gregory, you stand victorious, and you look as Fremria just holds out her hand, and Aaron puts 2 gold coins in it.
That was warm-up round. I'm ready now.
Tucks it into it. Yeah, both of you roll me Constitution saves just to see how drunk the both of you are after that, please. Gregory's doing good. Come on, that one. Come on now.
Rolling off pure
Nat
adrenaline.
one, babe. Okay.
What?
So you're both
A game?
You're both quite drunk at this point. Both of you are pretty heavily inebriated. You just polished off an entire cask of ale. Gregory, the DC was higher for you because you're a child.
Right.
Isn't it like noon 30 right now?
Yeah, it's 12:30. We're like 4 days.
Somewhere.
So while you feel like you're handling it better than Mantuka, you can see like his just sturdy constitution and years of drinking and sheer size is kind of absorbing the alcohol a little slower. So while you did better than him in the drinking contest and at the overall just handling of your liquor, you do feel it hitting you a lot faster, and you kind of begin to slump back into the chair in the bar and you just start burping kind of as like the foam and all of the everything begins just like making a bit of an appearance. And Mantuka, you sit back now knowing in your heart, in your soul, that you were beaten by Gregory, 15-year-old boy with no drinking experience prior to the week he's been with you. And there's a part of you that feels a little bit of a lingering sense of shame. While it was not a physical altercation, you still hate to lose. And that kind of stings on the inside a little bit. As Gregory sits there triumphantly smiling and kind of drunkenly weaving back to forth. Perfectly timed. At that
What's
point,
going on around here?
Yeah, that point, Mr. Maker and Stanislav roll into the bar, and you see Gregory just kind of slumped back in the chair doing one of these. Mantuka's staring at him with his arms crossed, fury in his eyes.
Do we see the mess of beer on the table and 2 empty casks?
Oh yeah, you see a broken cask on one of the tables. Mantuka's just staring at his, either in anger or sadness. You're not entirely sure.
Hey guys, you're just in time. I've been wanting to do this for like a long time, and I think I finally have the confidence to start making it. Give me something worth a lot that's worth a lot to you, all of you. I'll pay you. And I take up the gold that y'all gave me, and I just start jingling. Lots of money. Just give me something worth money.
For what?
I'm gonna make a thing based on you.
Gregory's fucking hammered, and he boops your nose.
Just
You
before
gave me
that,
that idea.
Actually,
It's a good idea.
Gregory, real quick, just make me a dexterity check at disadvantage, please.
check or saving throw?
Check. Just straight dexterity.
Oh,
Not Stanislav. Sorry, Gregory. Yeah.
Double sixes.
Double sixes. So as you go for the boop, were you booping Stanislav or Mr. Maker?
Mr. Maker.
Yeah. So as you're going in for the boop, you kind of just right in the eye.
I don't even notice.
Oh,
You're
that
so
notwithstanding, here's UI.
UI rolls up. What's it?
I just need a little bit. Is there any like baubles or bits to UI that looks like they'd be relatively easy to like pull off?
No, don't.
His eyebrows, a small antenna at the back of his head.
He does. He has like the. If you're like
go ahead.
having trouble picturing his head, think the Iron Giant had a baby with the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's a little janky looking.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. He's adorable.
I mean, am I gonna get whatever I give you back?
No.
Oh,
Shit.
I pull UI back away.
it.
I'll hand him a dagger. Here, have this dagger.
Okay, cool.
No,
Great.
money.
And actually, yeah, here I'll give you my bullseye lantern.
Oh.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm giving up some of the. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you handle your prized possessions to this heavily inebriated 15, 16-year-old boy, who seemingly has just beaten Mantuka in some kind of contest based on the way Mantuka's staring at him. What are you doing with these objects, Gregory?
I'm
Paying
trying
for them.
to make my next spell outside of Gregory. But yeah, I'm gonna just need to collect a lot of stuff from people. It's gonna be good. I start walking around the bar and offering just a gold to anyone that will give me something of theirs that's like worth money.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Hey!
At advantage because you're drunk.
Hey!
Nice. And I'm also gonna order.
I say
2
all
casks of ale.
charisma checks made while inebriated are at advantage because you have self-confidence.
Yeah, I'll get a couple of casks over for Mr. Maker and I.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah. So cask is 10 copper pieces a piece. So far on your tab, you got 40 copper pieces worth of stuff built up.
Cool.
Are you buying shit on my tab?
I assume. I didn't actually ask. That's my bad. Maybe I should have.
It's not fucking open tab, GM. What the fuck?
I don't know. You didn't say. You said we're just. You literally said we're opening a tab. It's that kind of night.
Yeah, Stanislav just sits
tab.
down and slams his cask down. What are
Yeah,
you
so you
gonna
get
do
a-
about it, big guy?
You get a cask of a nice amber ale. And Mantuka, you've just been called out by Stanislav.
I just gingerly am drinking mine.
Okay.
Watching
Just
this
a
happen.
glass
Okay.
of wine. Are you going with a glass of wine or ale?
No, it's
What's-
a big cask. I'm
I
just
s-
doing it like it's a glass of wine.
It's like 2 hands. So you're gonna. Yeah, it's like
I make my
Wine-
hands a little
Ryan.
bigger.
Ryan, hold up your thermos thing again. This is how big. This is the cask. Maybe a little bigger.
You just hear
All
my
right.
hand crack, and they turn into Michael Jordan-sized hands.
All right, walk with me, DM. I want a bottle of hard liquor, like dwarven spirits or something.
Okay. You
And I
looking for
want
the
to
good
crack
stuff?
it, and I want to toss it on top of the cask, like sprinkle, just little sprinkles, all of it. Top.
You're sprinkling expensive dwarven booze. Okay, first of all, we need to see if you can get
Into
some
it.
dwarven booze. Okay.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna say
Redemption.
roll me a persuasion check just to see if you can convince her to give you the good stuff.
I will also get in on this.
Okay, so either roll with advantage or you both roll separately.
Persuasion? I'm pretty good at that.
Persuasion, indeed.
So we'll each
Oh,
roll.
I bet he's pretty good at persuasion. I'm not. I'll let him roll for us.
That was your idea.
18. Yeah, no, he's just, like, you guys are both kind of rolling independently at this point.
Oh,
One of you
okay,
is
okay.
very drunk, the other is not.
Persuasion.
I haven't even started drinking at all.
Oh,
Look
not
at that! Look at that! Look at you! So you kind of go over and you're like, give me the good
My
stuff.
persuasion.
And she's like, oh, okay, you guys got money. Yeah, so, tell you
I
what,
just I jingle my coin purse.
this is the last bottle of this stuff I
Mr.
have.
Maker perks up.
This is the last bottle
Okay.
of this I have. And she goes under and pulls out what appears to be like a 2/6 sized quart of what looks to be a very dark dwarven spirit, probably whiskey.
Cool.
Hmm.
Of some
I'll order
kind.
another cask,
Uh,
and then I'll pour half in mine.
It's
and
gonna
half
be
on,
fif-
Stan the
15 gold pieces for that bottle.
No, yeah, tab.
Okay. It's the last one I
Damn it.
got. It's rare. They don't make it anymore. And as you look at it, you see on it, it says Stout Brew Reserve. And kind of like just, it's like, it
Hold on,
does
Vic.
have a label.
Before you put that in there, let me just have a little taste of this. Be ashamed to let it all go to complete waste.
You're gonna taste it in a minute.
Go ahead.
When I vomit, you drink
have-
it up my vomit.
You have a light sip, and it is very well made. It is
That's some good
delicious.
stuff.
It is flavorful. It's got
Pass
like
it back
some really nice. I don't know enough about whiskey to properly describe a good whiskey, but if it's nice.
It's
It's
very
got some
oaky.
oak
It's
It
got a very
does.
oaky. It's got a very oaky
Donkey
finish.
urine.
with just a hint of chocolate and spice.
And it is fine. Anyone who wants to can roll me a history check just for funsies.
Sure.
The Stout
Sure, I like
Brewery is
History and
quite famous.
booze. How about a nat 1?
Woo! So for
15?
anyone who rolled above, I'd must say a 10. The Stout Brewery is a brewery that is run by a group of dwarves that left their mountain hillside homes and ended up settling north of Whitethorn in the Clearwater Thicket, where they use the very, very well made or very, very clear glacier water to make some of the finest spirits and ales ever. They are delicious, they are expensive, and they are extremely rare as they do a limited number of bottles per year. And you seemingly have got your hands on a bottle of the reserve. There's no date on it, but it's old. You can just tell by the bottle this has probably been sitting on her shelf for 10, 15 years, maybe more.
She has to blow some dust off it and shit.
Can I try to sneak a little glass out before they like dump it on a cask?
Yeah, so like Mantuka like pops open the 2 casks of ale and begins pouring in the Dwarven Reserve. I'm assuming you're doing it for both of you, or just yours?
Correct. I'm gonna take half of it, pour it in mine,
Okay.
half of it, pour it in
So roll me a sleight of hand check, please, Mr. Maker.
Okay.
Mantuka just like starts pouring. Oh shit, Jesus Christ! He just starts pouring it into the kegs, and as he's kind of like doing, you just essentially grab a little glass and like slowly put it into the stream of liquor falling out, and bring it back over to you, and just. It's good. It's real good whiskey, and like that. You guys don't even notice this. Like none of your passives are that high. Not actively. You're a little like Mantuka. You just like.
Even if I did notice that, I wouldn't have said shit.
Yeah, you just like a hand just kind of steals, and by the time you realize what's happening, you just see Mr. Baker sitting there like, just has like a moment. Are you guys? I'm assuming you guys are going to be doing a drinking contest for Stanislav and
He wanted
Mantuka.
it.
Okay, I mean, okay, you are. You're definitely very inebriated already. I don't think you'd be at disadvantage to keep drinking.
Want me to make this even there, big guy? Reset the stakes?
But hey, you want to lay hands on me? Start again? Squad 2?
Oh, right.
Okay, we're sobering up to get drunk again.
Yeah, I will 5 points of lay on hands to de-alcoholize the Minotaur.
Yeah, so
Gregory will also pull out a ball of slime and slap his face with it, pink slime with a little nurse hat, and cast Lesser on himself to do the same.
That's the restoration. Okay, cool. As your little nurse goo heals you up, you sober up immediately, which is kind of a bummer. So, Stanislav.
Maker's in the background trying to get drunk.
Yeah, just sipping away.
The first time.
Mantuka and Stanislav, you know the drill. 5 rounds. Whoever wins the most wins. Both of you make me Constitution saving throws, please. Straight rolls.
I am gonna uninclude him from my aura of protection.
Fuck you, bitch!
You don't even know.
That one.
Yeah, you feel Stanislav's usual comforting
Good
sentence
goop.
or presence begin to dissipate. So Stanislav takes the first round. As like now like the tops of the kegs have been opened, you're just kind of sipping out the edge like a giant cup. The first sip is quite strong, as that's where a lot of the liquor has settled. And immediately you are just downing what is probably the most expensive dwarven whiskey you have ever tried in your life, and it's a little hard to get down. Like it is strong. Yep. But Stanislav, you managed to get it down faster, and you kind of look over at Mantuka's looking over at you, and you know inside you won that round. So that is 1-0 for Stanny in your heart of hearts. So wow, another save, Mr. Mantuka rolls
fucking hot trash.
Wow,
Mantuka hashtag hot trash.
Oh, that's amazing. So. Mantuka now, like, you're in your head. You cannot stand to lose again, okay? It's gonna bring shame on you. It's gonna bring shame on your god. Mogis will turn from you if you lose this fight of alcohol consumption.
Damn!
You don't necessarily know that. That's just how I'm saying Mantuka is gonna rationalize defeat. So roll me another 2 saves. Stanny begins, quickly drawing ahead.
I'm gonna, seeing that I'm... pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
I'm gonna re-include him for my aura of protection for this one.
You get +2 on your next saving throw,
Plus
right?
4.
+4. So 23 + 4. Okay.
Yep.
Mantuka, now you feel a fire. You're not sure if it's a fire burning in you or if it's just the whiskey, but something just ignites inside of you, and you begin just pouring it back, opening your mouth as wide as it can possibly go, just letting the alcohol flow straight in there, and you manage to take a single round.
And it's gone.
Small victory!
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
Even your protection's gone?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you got it for 1 round.
Yep.
Okay. Oh no, Nat 1 on the losing round again.
Mantuka, baby.
Again. We don't even need to do 5 rounds, man. Stanny wins majority of the time. So Stanislav, at this point, you just like, in a very Mantuka fashion, without even having been there to witness him doing it himself, you one-hand the bottom of the keg and flexing your bicep as you do, just twist it into the sky and begin downing this alcohol that's just pouring down. Little trickles are kind of escaping from your cheeks, but you like, kind of like use a hand to just kind of get the drips back to the corners of your mouth so you don't lose any. And as you polish off the keg, I'm saying you won because you got 3 out of 5. You hold the keg down, and once again notice Mantuka this time as he's trying to drink the same fly, you think? Or Gregory, the same fly you saw before. This time now lands on the end of Mantuka's nose and just begins kind of wandering around there. You see the nose begin to twitch and struggle a bit, and then Mantuka lets out just a massive sneeze, causing a ton of the alcohol to just spray Stanislav in the face. As you're standing there triumphantly. Yeah, roll me a dexterity saving throw to avoid sneeze. A little bit.
Because I'm in my fine clothes right now. God damn it.
Yeah.
And you're also wearing.
Yeah, I think that'll do.
Dexter, you managed to like avoid. What's up, Mantuka?
What time of day is it currently?
Like 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Is the tavern and inn, are they connected? Or are
Yeah,
they separate
it's all the same building. Yep.
I'm just gonna go to the counter and put my money down and put myself to bed because tomorrow's a new day and maybe tomorrow I can roll better.
Yeah, you don't even wait to get a key from her at this point. You just put your money down, you pay your tab, you go up the stairs to the 2nd floor where the rooms are, and you just like force the door open. I assume one of you is gonna pay for that. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Of course. Don't worry. I got it.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy. That was really quite pathetic. That was really funny. I've never seen that happen before. Figure Minotaur would do better with contests of constitution.
I can still hear you.
Then come down and do me.
Yeah, you see Mr. Maker sitting there sipping his whiskey and now like kind of looking like he maybe wants to join in the fun a little bit.
Should I roll another con save to see how drunk I am?
Yeah, roll con save to see how drunk you are. Gregory, you see Mr. Maker kind of just like
not bad.
Kind of just stirring his whiskey with a finger, a little awkwardly, a little uncomfortably. Yeah. Stanny, you're good. You're drunk, you're buzzing, but like you're holding up okay. And Mr. Maker's just kind of sitting there awkwardly. UI kind of leans over. I'll drink with you if you want, sir.
I give him just a tiny little, like, salt shaker's worth of the big cask I had, and just put it beside him. Don't pour that on any of your good shit.
Thank you, sir. He pulls like a little metal straw. You hear the sound of liquid draining into the middle of his torso.
I'm kind of sobered up at this point, and I kind of see that out of the corner of my eye. I go sit over next to him, and all you see is just I'm holding all my little cloths together like a little bundle, and it's just filled with shit. I've spent about 50 gold, or I'd say 45 gold, and I go and I give you 5 gold. Oh, this is for the dagger.
Thank you.
I go, just sit down next to you.
Yeah,
and
I'm not even gonna... No roll necessary. You have whatever you need. You are young, you are kind, and you're funny. And you managed to persuade people fairly easily to sell you trinkets and what has its and useless little things.
What is this for?
I'm gotten kind of better at making the things you see come out of the box, right? I've never done that before. I always just kind of borrowed from other people.
You borrowed those little creatures?
Yeah, and I go and put my hand in the box and I pull out just like a little handful. Like you see a little pink goo looking like jam. You see like a little tree that's made out of bark. It's just like, yeah, these are them.
Can I see the tree one?
Yeah.
I just like to start
hands you a
out,
little tree.
like,
he pulls out the
starts
measuring the tiny little tree, the little druid craft tree.
Where did you get this thing? Who did you steal this thing from?
Tiny coffins.
My dad.
Tiny coffins?
Tiny coffins.
Who did you steal it from, Gregory?
I just kind of look at really quietly. Mr. Maker, you hear, my dad. It's his.
Oh.
I borrowed it. Just borrowed it. Oh, I'm bringing it back after I... make something cool, find something cool.
Sure. So
Yeah.
he's alive,
Yeah.
and he made these funny little critters.
He made most of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to have a conversation with this man.
He's really something. But I when you do that thing you do with your face,
Yeah.
what does that feel like?
It's hard to describe. I've done it forever,
Right.
so I don't know. For me, it's like breathing.
Oh.
It's one of those things you don't think about until you think about it.
That actually makes sense. Can I watch you do it just once, really closely?
Yeah, I'd morph into you.
Yes.
By the way, Stanislav has gotten up while you guys are having this conversation and gone up to where Mantuka went into the room.
Aw.
Sick. Oh.
Still disconcerting, but now this is all science. And as,
Science, yeah.
it's just like a bunch of like rings and like lockets and baubles. There's like a glove. So I'm just like kind of putting stuff together and looking at you. This will take a while, but I think I can figure this out. Mending Mouse?
You have a
Mending
very
Mouse is
strange
possible.
process.
Yeah, this will be good. Thank you
I
very
pull
much.
3 screwdrivers out and start fiddling with the hand crossbow.
Yeah, it's just two little bits.
Preparing for the thing, yeah. Just off of the corners, slowly, like, working on shit.
Nothing terrifying at all about this.
No. Are those 2 guys over there? Are they making a bomb?
No one knows what a bomb is. No one here is smart
What the
enough for
fuck
that
is a
shit.
bomb?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Eat your pork.
Yeah, and that's well. I'll just spend the rest of the night just kind of fiddling. At least I'll probably stay up quite late into the night.
Fair enough. Okay. So
I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking that much, so I still have enough time to sober up before I go to the forge.
fair enough. So
Trying to keep an eye on that.
as the day begins to wind to a close, you spend the afternoon relaxing, socializing, hanging out in the tavern, having some drinks.
I would
handling what
attempt to get
business.
Mantuka back down from his room.
Yeah, so I guess you go into Mantuka's room and find him just stewing in anger.
I'm not that drunk. Don't take advantage of me.
Don't worry, big guy. That's not why I'm here. What's wrong? You seem upset.
Going to bed. Get out of my room, douche.
Oh,
I've had a bad day. Like, fuck off. .com.
Okay. So as Mantuka says that, you go in, you open the
Okay.
door, you're like, you okay, big guy? You see what I'm saying? He's like, I'm sleeping, fuck off. That's gonna be where we end today's session. So we'll come back next week, do some blacksmithing, and head off on our quest. I feel like ending it with Mantuka being like, I'm sleeping, fuck off, is probably the best way to go about this.
Fucking having a bad day, okay, bud?
I'm
Go
not
try
that drunk.
somewhere
Don't
else,
take
like,
advantage
right?
of me.
Oh my
You don't
god.
understand me, Mom.
Fair enough. Alright, so we're gonna find someone to raid out on in the meantime. I think we're just gonna send it over to 20 sides to every story. That's where Rim's
Not
visiting us
rating
from.
me.
Are you streaming again?
Send it back to you. Do 24 hour.
Do a 24-hour stream. I'll fucking raid you out.
Oh.
I like 20 cents
That
every
beautiful
story.
scarf.
Rimlock's a homie. Are you actually streaming?
I might be, but I was joking.
Oh,
I was
okay,
joking about
okay.
that.
I would absolutely raid out on you, though. So, in the meantime, that's going to be it for us today. I'm also going to give a shout out to Hell's Corp here. If y'all haven't already,
Oh.
go check out Hell's Corp, the only other streamer in the crew currently. He's a hell of a friend, and we've been hanging out a lot, and he's always
Try
bringing
to-
the interesting backgrounds.
Try to watch me fail at doing hitless dead cells.
Yeah, we're gonna get some hitless dead cells in. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna fucking kill it, dude. I have no doubt. Mouse pant bottom text.
Mouse pant bottom text.
Bottom text. And you can buy all your merch at hellscorp.square.site and Rusty's Apothecary for some of our D&D stuff. Anyway, we
Yeah,
will
but
see
you're gonna
you...
want to go to the first one he said.
First one first. Hellscorp.square.site. So, we will be back, or I'll be back tomorrow, getting into Jade Empire, finally. I'm so excited. We're going to be continuing our retro or classic RPG games. So, in the meantime, we love you guys. We have been the Cross Country Compatriots, and yeah, we'll see you next time. We'll be back next Monday, because we got D&D every Monday now. Let's fucking go. All right, peace out, everybody. See you, Rim. We're sending it over to 20 sides, buddy. Peace.